We are live at Victoria Road for West Ham against Arsenal on this thrilling and exciting final day of the WSL season. Arsenal have kept the pressure up on Chelsea, who are across London taking on Manchester United. They're just a point ahead. The title could still go anywhere, and we're across both games, of course, for you, and hopefully bringing you a thrilling end to what has been an exciting season.
The top two teams in the land. He gets a shot away, it's a ripper. Another decent ball back in the middle, looking for harder, and they're backing it straight away. It's an upset, it's a joyous one for the new Arsenal manager. And the league leaders Arsenal hit the canvas, and the shot finds the back of the net. Arsenal have saved it.
Oh, it's got in. Chelsea grab a six. And they go top of the table in absolutely emphatic fashion. Forward, goes for the corner. Oh, that is brilliant.
And the title race goes to the last 90 minutes.
So it all comes down to today, and Jonas Eidevall's Arsenal's 3-0 win against Tottenham in midweek saw them close the gap to just 1 point behind top of the table Chelsea. If Chelsea lose or draw and Arsenal win today, the title is theirs. It's West Ham against Arsenal in the Barclays Women's Super League. Kick-off here at Victoria Road is in just 10 minutes' time. And this is how the table looks as we head into these final few hours of the season. The Blues are top, with Arsenal a point behind them, but Arsenal's goal difference is 4 better than Chelsea's. Could that be crucial? The two Manchester sides are in a race for third place as well, and of course with that, Champions League football next season. City, though, on a 12-match winning streak, are 2 points ahead of Manchester United, and after a 20-year stay in the WSL, Birmingham will be relegated today, no matter what happens in their game against Aston Villa. I am joined by former Arsenal and Reading midfielder Farah Williams, and alongside her, Laura Bassett, who's got a foot in an Arsenal and Chelsea camp as well, so I'm not sure she's blue or red today. This is so exciting, and thanks to Arsenal actually for keeping up the pressure, because that's hard, isn't it, when you're chasing. And that midweek win, I think we all breathed a sigh of relief that we were going to get the exciting end to this season that it deserves.
Yeah, that's right. I think if you look at the journey so far, there's been ebbs and flows, and both Arsenal and Chelsea have been in the driving seat at certain times of the season. So the fact that it's come right down to the wire, it's just fantastic. And
coming down to the wire is something that you two know all about. You were involved in possibly the previous most exciting final day to the WSL when it was a 3-horse race. Farah, give us a little bit of backstory here.
Yeah, when I was at Liverpool, we went into the final game in 3rd position, and so Chelsea was sitting top and Birmingham in 2nd. And look, we went into that game knowing we just needed to win the game to give ourselves any sort of chance. And obviously Chelsea were the favourites to win, and actually they lost that game to Manchester City. I mean, a fantastic goal from Tony Duggan, and look, we took the trophy in the end, but that's what's involved with Chelsea.
Well, Chelsea were the favourites that day, the favourites today as well, but anything can happen.
That's right. I think if I look back at that game, you know, we could win or draw, and there was so much adversity. We lost our first choice keeper in the first half, a bad shoulder injury. We had lost so many chances, and we were just trying to be patient, and we thought, keep believing. Then Tony Duggan sticks in a rocket of a goal to take and it's how you deal with the adversity in game as well.
Yeah, and as a Liverpool player that day, the advice you would give to Arsenal today is you can only control what's happening here.
Yeah, most definitely, and that's what we did when I was at Liverpool. Look, we had to win the game. Arsenal know if they win this game, it gives themselves a chance of winning that title, and they've got to forget about what's going on with Chelsea and at Kings Meadow. They've got to get a result today, and they've given themselves half a chance in winning midweek.
Yeah, and Chelsea, of course, again, have just got to keep their cool over there. Emma Hayes, though, in the build-up to this, has been a usual, very kind of good at putting in things perspective, let's say, self.
Yeah, I think, and look, and Emma Hayes was my manager back in 2014, so like me and Farah were talking off air, you know, exactly what she's been through, the experience. She's been in this position before, and, you know, I think she comes across really well in interviews in terms of the perspective that she, you know, what is pressure, what isn't pressure. It's a pleasure, isn't it? So, you know, and if you can relay that onto your players, they're going to go out and perform.
Well, there's plenty more going on in the WSL today, of course. This match here is just one of 6 WSL fixtures kicking off at midday today. In the remaining 5, it's Aston Villa facing Birmingham City, Brighton taking on Everton, Tottenham are at home to Leicester, Manchester City looking for 3rd place travel to Reading, and Chelsea hosting Manchester United, also seeing if they can get themselves into a Champions League spot. And we will be across all the goals and reaction as it happens at Kings Meadow, where our reporter Reshmin Chowdhury is there for us.
Gabby, thank you. Hello, everybody. What a glorious day it is out here in Kings Meadow. I've not seen the stadium like this, and it's not even full yet. We're expecting a sellout crowd, of course, for the game here today. It's chock-a-block outside with traffic as well, and it is a huge day in the WSL, isn't it? Chelsea looking for back-to-back titles. If they win today, that would be guaranteed, and as expected, Emma Hayes has gone with pretty much all the big hitters, and she has a few on the bench as well in reserve if she needs them. But for United, of course, this is a huge day. There is so much jeopardy in this game, and you can hear the United fans behind me as well, because they know that if Manchester City slip up, they are in with a shot at that third Champions League spot. It is a huge, momentous day in the WSL. Make sure you stay across it all over the BBC.
Well, especially right here as well, Rashmin, where we will get goals from that game as they happen, and you'll see the trophy lift wherever that happens. And if it is here in Victoria Road, well, it'll be the 6th time that Captain Kim Little has won the title with Arsenal. Her hunger, her desire and ambition is as great as it ever was. She spoke to Kelly Summers earlier.
Kim, the end of the season is finally here. It doesn't get much more exciting, doesn't it, than going into the final day 1 point behind Chelsea.
We have literally just taken each game as it comes, because we've been in the position where we need to pick up points. We've dropped points earlier in the season, which means we're in this place behind Chelsea, and we go into this last game of the season with kind of all or nothing. So it's exciting.
Have you ever been in a situation like this before, where you're going into a game needing to win, but also needing to rely on others?
I can't think of a time where it's gone down to the very last game of the season. Whenever we won the title before, it's been tied up a few games before. So yeah, it is quite a different experience, and this is why we all love playing football. It's why we love supporting it, and I'm glad that the last game of the season can give that to the players and to the fans.
Jonas has also signed a new contract at the club. How pleased were you when you heard that news?
Jonas has brought a slightly different edge to our game, which complements our more possession-based football, which I think makes us a lot harder to play against. This has been the first year with Jonas, and I'm excited that he'll be here for the foreseeable future, so we can build on that and progress and look to win more trophies.
Let's bring it back round to Sunday then. What will be the final things that you, maybe Jonas, will say in the dressing room?
Jonas normally gives a little bit of tactical detail, just with regards to how West Ham will set up, and then before we head out in our team huddle, it's just very simple, 3 points, and then we'll just have to see where it goes.
If you are to do it, what would it mean to Arsenal, to this group of players after this season?
To win the league at this great club, it would be unbelievable, and that's what we want to push for as a team. We want to be up there and winning trophies, and hopefully we can do that on Sunday. If not, then we'll be pushing to do that next season, even more so.
Well, Arsenal manager Jonas Eidevall would consider this an enormous success if he can lift the WSL trophy in his first full season as manager. If they don't, well, we'll hear his thoughts as to how he's going to reflect on the season post-match. But ahead of things, he spoke to Kelly Summers.
Jonas, the task ahead of you is simple. You must win and hope Chelsea drop points today. What's the feeling like in the dressing room? Are the players feeling calm?
I think they feel focused and very much task-orientated to go out and do our game plan, which feels nice. I think the only thing we have to consider is, of course, that if Chelsea would lose, a draw would be good enough for us as well. So that's the only scenario where that result would impact maybe our strategy a little bit in the last dying minutes of a game, but apart from that, no.
Are you going to have a way of getting messages about what's going on in the Chelsea game to you in the dugout?
Yeah, we will know what we need to know.
Well, we know that Arsenal have always been enormously progressive in terms of the way they've supported the women's team right back to Vic Ackers. And this week, in an unprecedented move, really, we don't think we've ever seen this before, they announced joint contract extensions with the men's coach Mikel Arteta, the men's manager, and Jonas himself, who's extended his contract, once again showing Arsenal's enormous commitment, I think, to the women's team, and just the way that they do things in the women's game, I think, is a kind of leader, really, for the rest.
Yeah, they've been a leader for a long time. They act with class. That's part of their motto at Arsenal. And look, it's fantastic that he signed this contract. I think it's important that he's had a season now You can see in the team he's started to shift the mentality of the players. It's going to take longer than a season, and the stability of the club is needed, and so it's important for them.
It was so thrilling for all of us that we could be here with this title race still on, and that was largely due to that midweek game where, in a North London derby, Arsenal had to get the win, and they did, and 2 goals from Caitlin Ford, who for you has been one of the players of the season.
Yeah, she's been brilliant for Arsenal. She's had to work her way into this team, but what she's really good at, she's a direct runner, and that really helps Arsenal advance into these final third positions. I like it here where she just uses Miedema's run to then get a strike away, a fantastic strike. But this is most impressive. She's a goal poacher. She knows how to get in good areas to score goals, and you just see her finishing up there.
I think also, Farah, she's playing with an aura about her now. This composed finish, that was world class. Everyone up in the stadium is clapping that. I think she belongs here. She really believes that she should be in the starting 11 scoring goals like that.
Well, don't forget, of course, that this game involves 2 teams, and West Ham will be hoping they can spoil the party today. And, of course, Ollie Harden's team can actually move a place up the table if results go their way elsewhere. So they are going to be as competitive as they have been all season. But let's hope it really does go down to the wire this afternoon. I guess if they read the script, what we need, Farah, is an early goal from Manchester United over at Kings Meadow and a goal just after here from Arsenal.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. We obviously want the trophy to come here, having, showing the game and BBC. So we'd love it to be here. But look, both games are going to be competitive. And as you mentioned, no one spoke about West Ham or Man United. They're equally going to make both of these games really competitive today. And that's what's so exciting about the WSL this season.
It certainly is. Jonas Eidevall just putting the finishing touches to his master plan this afternoon as the players come out onto the pitch on this glorious afternoon at Victoria Road. Let's hope we see 90 minutes of football to match. And hand you over now to your commentators. Former England and Everton goalkeeper Rachel Brown-Finnis is alongside Mark Scott.
Thanks, Gabby. Afternoon, everyone. Well, one thing is for sure. We have had a cracking title race and indeed a brilliant season overall. The relegation fight was only settled in the week. Like the title race, the Champions League battle goes to the final day too. But here, it is all focus on the fight to be WSL champions. If Chelsea lose, a draw will do for Arsenal, who would take the title on goal difference. If the leaders draw, a Gunners win gets the job done. But if Chelsea beat Manchester United, there is nothing Jonas Eidevall's team can do here. Well, speaking of the teams, West Ham have captain Gilly Flaherty back after she missed the last 2 games through injury. She won 13 major honours in her time at Arsenal. Claudia Walker also comes in for her first start since mid-March. Lisa Evans is ineligible as she's on loan from Arsenal, while Czech international Katarina Svitkova moves to the bench. One change from the Arsenal side that started the North London derby victory in the week. Kate McCabe came on for Stina Blackstenius midway through the second half at the Emirates, and the Republic of Ireland captain starts in place of the Swede today. Jonas Eidevall says it is a tactical move to deal with right-footers and left-footers. Well, Rachel, one of the subplots today involves the all-time top scorer in WSL history.
Yeah, Vivianne Miedema, what a star she is, only young, still 25, and the all-time leading goal scorer for the Netherlands as well as her club. And could she be leaving Arsenal? The unthinkable. Could that happen? If she did, would she go to another WSL team? Would she go abroad? Who knows? We wait to find out. Contract finishes at the end of the season, which is today, so we'll find out where she goes. Now, also, if West Ham are to get anything from this game, it could come down to that strike partnership. Adriana Leon won the Olympics last summer with her country, Canada, gold medalist there, but only 2 goals this season in her WSL season for West Ham. Partnered up top today with Claudia Walker, ex-Everton player, who's had time off injured, is back now and has scored some absolute beauties from distance. But it's the pace and the trickery of Adriana Leon who could cause problems for Arsenal. But that back line has been so trustworthy. And I think Adriana Leon will probably have more of an eye on what Katie McCabe could do up against her.
Emily Heaslip is our referee this afternoon. Jonas Eidevall comes into this game fresh off the back of signing a new contract with Arsenal. So here we go then. West Ham will get the game underway, kicking from right to left in this first half. And on the referee's whistle, the players, match officials and coaching staff all take a knee. Arsenal couldn't really ask for better opponents, historically speaking, if they are to do their end of the bargain this afternoon. They've won all 9 of their meetings with West Ham, scoring 38 goals in the process. They were 4-0 victors at home in the WSL in November. Here is Valti. Now Williamson. Not the greatest pass from Williamson. Forwards from Longhurst. Should be easy enough for Zinsberger to make the gather.
Good front foot goalkeeping from Zinsberger there, backing up her back line, reducing those gaps between the back line and her. Anything that can run through. You want your goalkeeper to be off the line and getting that. Bright start from West Ham. You can see that they're sitting off where the goalkeeper's got possession, but they do gain possession. If Leah Williamson is allowed possession of the ball to be able to pick out passes, she can do that with wonderful accuracy.
Miedemar's really revelling in this role, dropping deeper into midfield, and Arsenal might be revelling in a start here. Opportunity for the early goal. McCabe goes down. Nothing doing from Emily Heaslip. Early sighter for the Gunners there, though. McCabe unable to take the opportunity.
Risky from West Ham in that higher central position. Really good tackle from Sissoko in the end. Really good covering.
That's towards Leon, but it's easy enough for Zinsberger. Jonas Eidevall says that there are no nerves coming into this game, but an early goal would certainly help to settle any that there might be for Arsenal. Sissoko back to Arnold, who actually had a pretty good game despite the 4-0 scoreline when the sides met earlier on this season. A few stunning saves to keep the scoreline relatively respectable.
It's not just about a goalkeeper's performance. If you get beaten 4-0, you can still be player of the match. I'm well aware of that. Some of the thrashings we've been under, or I've been under in throughout the years of being a goalkeeper. She's in a team that is still trying to gel under Ollie Harder. He's been here in his second year here with them, putting a heck of a lot of players and from all different parts of the world.
Well, that was interesting because Emily Heaslip didn't give the decision there. It was Emily Carney, her assistant on that far side, who flagged. West Ham didn't see anything wrong in the way that Wubben-Moy was wrestled off that.
I didn't think there's too much in it initially. It's a contact sport ultimately.
Valti's pass finds Miedemar, and again on that spin. One of the things that West Ham need to be wary of is not letting Miedemar receive the ball in that kind of position. Sissoko has Little for company, and Little sure it's a corner, and indeed it is. So bit of an error there from Hawa Sissoko, thinking it was going to be a goal kick, and Arsenal have the first corner of the game.
I thought Kim Little was toying with Sissoko there and putting her arm up to claim for a corner, but it must have got a little nick. Sissoko unaware. I watched Arsenal in midweek against Tottenham Hotspur, and they didn't make enough from corners. Now this is the first one that will be an in-swinger. They didn't have any in-swingers midweek against, and couldn't get any of those corners to count.
Well, they've gone short. Mead. Here's Catley. Mead again. Deflection, and it will be another Arsenal corner.
Yeah, I distinctly remember in the first half against Spurs, they must have had 6 corners, Arsenal. And Spurs have, of course, valiantly defended every single one very well. I just felt that to have the cutting edge, got to make more from set pieces, and they have such good quality.
Catley going for the more conventional approach here. It's a tricky one, and it's well gathered under pressure by Mackenzie Arnold.
Excellent early call from Mackenzie Arnold, the Australian international goalkeeper. Really good movement, confident jump. Exactly what you want from your goalkeeper, to claim those balls in those areas where there's lots and lots of defenders. We've seen that in-swinger though from Steph Catley. Just didn't really have the whip on it to cause too many problems.
Oh, that's risky. Picked up by Wynne, and that was a pretty robust challenge as well. Maritz looks like she's just going to get a talking to here.
It's got to be a yellow card. I don't like cards being thrown out unnecessarily, but it was cynical. Wynne had got past her, cut inside, and rightly so, Maritz does get a yellow card. She chose the path direct to goal with that interception. A little bit lax from Leah Williamson, wanting to play that ball first time, of course. But really, Maritz had no other choice than to get across her and ensure she didn't take the ball, and the player and the ball didn't get past her.
Fixture in the first team this season, the Swiss started 18 of their 21 WSL games this term. So, first chance for West Ham to threaten with a set piece.
Looks like Leon is shaping up to shoot.
Leon goes for the delivery, which is deep. Wasn't the worst ball in the world.
Definitely wasn't a shot. Really good ball though to the back post. Just Brynjarsdottir can't quite stretch out that leg long enough to be able to redirect it back across. But you could see two players waiting. Should she have got a foot and been able to control the ball square across? I think it's... You can see what the set piece was intended to set up and how it was expected to work.
Arsenal really enjoyed themselves on their last trip to West Ham in the WSL in November 2020. 9-1 winners on that occasion. Here's Arsenal's number 9 Mead, and it's gone behind for the goal kick.
Brilliant ball, wasn't it, that from Miedema? And that's what she can do from that position, picking the ball up. Traditionally in years gone by, until partway through the season, she's played as an out-and-out 9, stretching that back line. But this season, Jonas Edeval has allowed us to get between the banks of the midfield and the defence, and seemingly much more effective. Her range of skills is unbelievable, from finishing to 30-40 yard passes like that.
Jonas Edeval says that he won't be keeping tabs on the score at Kings Meadow. Too busy out at the edge of his technical area. Here is Maritz. Wynne with the loose pass. Maritz onto it again. And here's Dottir closing her down. Little. Mead. Nicely worked from Maritz. Sissoko for company. Good challenge, Sissoko. Not a great pass, though. Little. Valti advancing, but good shape from West Ham to pack out that midfield. No easy route through. And that's not a great touch again. Walker on the turn, almost managed to slip it through. Here's Miedema. Ford asking for it. It's Caitlin Ford. Angle against her, but she's forced the corner. And again, good work from Sissoko.
Brilliant defending from Sissoko. You can see that when she receives the ball, Caitlin Ford, she's strong, and Sissoko doesn't get pushed off the ball, doesn't get shouldered off the ball, stays really close to it, gets herself in a brilliant position to be able to block that strike.
Five in Arsenal shirts in the area, and again, good positive keeping from Arnold. It will drop for Valti. Miedema, beautiful control. Sissoko snaps into the challenge. Miedema, and still. A nice idea, but too much on the pass. I think Arsenal saying that they would have rather have had the free kick.
I think it was the right decision from the referee to gain the advantage. Miedema on a preferred left foot, central, 20 yards out. You can't argue that's not a good position. Sissoko's had 2 red cards this season already. You can see a little bit rash in her tackling. Yes, there were bodies for Miedemar to block, but she's one of the best strikers in the world.
One of those sendings off came against the other North London club when she was dismissed against Tottenham in January. Miedemar. Here is Wing. Yallop. Hasegawa. All risky. Arsenal could be away here. Miedemar has fought through the centre. Caitlin Ford. Comfortable for Mackenzie Arnold, but uncomfortable viewing for Hasegawa after she gave the ball away.
In the field, you want your most technical players. Hasegawa. You see here, Caitlin Ford strikes. She'll be disappointed she didn't get across the goalkeeper there. Just a little bit off balance, leaning back. But that's what West Ham haven't done so well, is when they regain possession, is keeping the ball. They've been trying to feed it through to the final third to Claudia Walker, and it's not quite stuck, or it's been a little bit wide of the mark. Got to help their team out and keep possession of the ball. Be tidy.
Well, Heaslip took her time there before eventually awarding the free kick against Katie McCabe.
And another chance for Leon to regroup and compose herself. When you're playing up against a team like Arsenal and like the champions-elect Chelsea, the majority of teams will concede possession against them, and they have to really concentrate all their efforts on making the most of set-piece opportunities.
The last free kick caused a bit of concern for Arsenal, and this one could as well. Get it away for now. Back in once again by Flaherty. Arsenal asking for something, and they get the whistle eventually, but a couple of uncomfortable moments for them at the back when West Ham have got balls into the area.
That's a lovely work free kick, wasn't it? How on earth Katie McCabe didn't recognise the danger, because you have 2 in the wall, but if there's one on the ball and one that's wide of you, as a goalkeeper giving out instructions, you have to go 1 for 1, simple as that. You can't allow a free cross to be played in. They didn't recognise the situation, Arsenal, and West Ham could have caused them problems.
Longhurst. And again, it's another deep ball in. Zinsberger should be comfortable, and is.
A good early call and take, no one in front of her. Again, took the pressure off the back line, Zinsberger.
Little. So good at receiving the ball under pressure. Ford. Maritz. Little. Mead. Catley. Williamson. Oh, and Mead not quite able to bring the ball under her spell there.
Oh, it's so unfortunate. And that whole bit of movement that was set up by Beth Mead, a lovely take and a little bit of a switch inside, and then a few phases of play later. She was in. Sissoko gambled, stuck her foot out. Nearly got caught out.
That's a handy ball, but McCabe isn't quite quick enough to get there. Well, Jonas Eidevall has been saying he won't be keeping tabs on what's happening at Kings Meadow, but he might be very interested in this news, because Manchester United have taken the lead at Kings Meadow. This is the goal for United, and that, from Martha Thomas, means that as things stand, Arsenal would be winning the title on goal difference. Still a long way to go, but already an early twist. Miedemar goes for it. Collected by Valti. Maritz. Williamson. Falti. Would you like to be kept abreast of what's going on in the other game if you were out there, Rachel?
No, you can only focus on what you can do, simple as that, on the pitch. Of course, Jonas said pre-match that there might be tactical implications later on in the game. There's a lot of football left to be played, both here and at Kings Meadow.
Well, as I said, Arsenal would take the title on goal difference if the final whistles were to be blown right now. But you can bank that there's going to be more thrills and spills throughout the afternoon.
I don't think Manchester United have beaten Arsenal or Chelsea yet in their history in the WSL. I mean, what a monumental finish that will be for the season for Manchester United, as well as the implications it has on this match.
The other side of us saying that he will be a Manchester United supporter this weekend. He'd be lying if he said anything else.
It's amazing what football can do to you, isn't it? Saying things like that.
He's energetic at the best of times, but he is being told what's happening elsewhere. Might burst a blood vessel.
Well, first and foremost, he'll want his team to be more on the front foot, to be capitalising on the errors, the opportunities that West Ham are presenting really with them, diving in at the back, allowing the likes of Bethmead and Miedemar and Ford in on goal.
Little.
We're not really been able to get down the wide positions either. Bethmead's coming in and being another central striker. Katie McCabe down that left side. Not seeing any crosses in.
Williamson. Ford, and the hit from Mead is straight down the throat of Arnold. Maritz. Here's Little. Williamson waits. Space here for Maritz. Drilled cross, good header. A very, very good try from Bethmead. Tough chance, but I guess, given the standard she sets for herself, it was a chance.
It was an excellent ball from Maritz as well. Real pinpoint, but really, lovely play. The way they drew players to be able to allow themselves to have space. And a pinpoint fired ball in from Maritz. Just saying about a lack of crosses, and there you go. There was one. But those runs infield from Bethmead from a wide position infield, she acts as another striker, and Arsenal seem to have three strikers in that central position.
Miedemar can't quite throw enough there. Maritz. A lot more play down the Arsenal right than the left so far. Falti.
West Ham are doing very, very well. They're staying patient. They're not getting stretched out, not pressing all over the pitch. They're keeping the shape pretty well.
Maritz slips in Mead. Oh, she's gone over. Emily Heaslip not minded to give anything.
She can give an advantage, Emily Heaslip, if it's a penalty. Sissoko's been so clumsy. This is at least the third occasion where she's gone to ground, a rash tackle. And she's now asking, I think it was Bethmead, yeah, Bethmead cuts inside. You can't stick your foot out. Yeah, there's not any contact with the tackle, but Bethmead drags her leg and initiates contact with Sissoko. It's probably the right decision, but Sissoko has to be very, very careful. Stay on your feet. She's proven that she's fast enough and strong enough to stay up and jockey players. Clever play from Bethmead, though.
Zinsberger. Oh, gets very lucky there. Ford chasing. Good defending from Flaherty though. Although Mead has it. McCabe lets it run away. Mead onto it. Sissoko got an important touch. All a bit scrappy. Miedemar. And that's not a great pass.
West Ham will take a breather.
Well, not good news for Jonas Eidevall. There has been another goal at Kings Meadow, and it's gone the way of Chelsea. Erin Cuthbert with the hit, and that means it's as you were in terms of the table. If his side were to get themselves in front, they would take top spot, but with both sides currently all square, the status quo is maintained.
Been a phenomenal WSL season from start to finish. I remember being at the Emirates, that opening game when Chelsea were beaten by Arsenal. Jonas Eidevall's first game in charge, and his knee slide down the line for his celebration. Instantly, Emma Hayes took a disliking to him, it seemed. But it's been wonderful for it to have such a competitive WSL, with Manchester City starting so slowly, but coming back up and being unbeatable.
And that was an opportunity for Brynjarsdottir to get the ball in.
She's done really well, Brynjarsdottir, to read play, and those long limbs of her to be able to intercept play. Certainly against Zinsberger when she was taking her time. She picked her moment, Brynjarsdottir. Very nearly made Zinsberger pay for her slow play.
Neatly done by Wynn. He gets the ball in dangerously. They were queuing up in there. Longhurst. Well, we spoke about Manchester United really taking the fight to Chelsea. West Ham not just here to make up the numbers.
Yeah, they look exciting when they're in the final third. Balls into the box. They've got the likes of Brynjarsdottir, tall figure on the edge of the box now.
She lays it off for Wynn. Poked forwards, Williamson underneath it, and safety first, the order of the day from her. Sissoko. Arsenal couldn't do much more than they have been recently. They've won the last 7 in the WSL as they try to close that gap and overtake Chelsea. 29 goals scored in that run and conceded just twice.
If I was West Ham, I'd be looking to get the ball forward as efficiently as possible. Playing out across the back. Not sure they've necessarily got the tempo and the precision always, West Ham, across the back to do it effectively.
Miedemar, 2 for company here. McCabe gives her the option. Little. West Ham back in their shape quickly. Wubben-Moy.
Make it very tight and compact, West Ham. Hard to play through. You do that, everybody back.
Wubben-Moy advancing here. Little on the turn. Turning into a cluster of claret and blue, but it's worked out for Mead. Arsenal furious with the referee here.
It's excellent covering. And Grace Fisk, last-ditch tackle. You can see here now it's played through really tight areas. Kim Little slipping it through to Beth Mead, who takes a touch. And Grace Fisk, last-ditch tackle, but shields her exceptionally well, covers her teammate, and just does enough to put off Beth Mead.
Didn't have the best of times in the reverse fixture, Grace Fisk. She scored an own goal, which made it 4-0 back in November. Sissoko. Gallop away from Little, but not clear of Valti. Pumped forwards by Williamson. Collected by Mead. McCabe and Ford in the middle. Miedemar arriving as well. Catley to Little. Done that really well this afternoon, West Ham. Arsenal have been in around the back and then they've forced them to retreat and start again. McCabe. Williamson. Overhit pass. Miedemar won't get there. Walker screaming for it through the middle, and that's a useful pass to help it on to Leon. Catley across. Leon looking for some support. Useful looking ball in.
That was a brilliant ball from Asagawa. She picked out the penalty spot as an area, target area. The 6-yard box was covered, she could see that. And neither Wynn or Yallop made that run to get into that space.
Wynn. Oh, lovely disguise on that pass. And Brynjarsdottir was almost in.
Synchronised play in the final third for West Ham I've been really impressed with. Brynjarsdottir is everywhere defensively. She does her duties. She's forward. She's a threat.
Not playing like a side who have lost 4 of their last 5 in all competitions, that's for sure.
I feel there's a mistake in them backline-wise, both in and out of possession.
Flaherty just in the nick of time gets it forwards. Valti. Here's Catley. Miedemar. Oh, wonderful turn. She was dragged back there. Advantage played. Can she turn it into one? Not on this occasion.
Just too much on it from Viv Miedemar there. She knew what she was trying to do. She knew what she wanted from the runner. But just overhit in the end and a let-off. Another let-off for West Ham. Interesting to see long term what West Ham do next season, how to build. Ultimately everybody's playing catch up to Chelsea, Arsenal and Manchester City really.
Ruben Moy. Valti. Well, getting updates from Kingsmeadow perhaps, and there is more good news for Arsenal. Manchester United back in front. They lead Chelsea by 2-1. It's Ella Toone who has re-established Manchester United's lead. A topsy-turvy affair in West London, which is good news for him in East London.
Goodness me, Mark Skinner and his Manchester United team have really taken the game to Chelsea. Chelsea have been in that situation. They've been on the cusp of winning titles. They should be able to deal with that.
Well, it means that Arsenal are back top on goal difference from Chelsea. Zinsberger is down. I wonder if he's relaying the message of what the scoreline is from Kingsmeadow to his players during this break in play. They're all over it. Gone are the days of listening to the wireless.
Without say updates on your phone, updates everywhere. If they don't know, it makes no difference. Arsenal want to go out and win this game, end of. That's their game plan. You can see how they've created chances with Beth Mead coming off of the wide positions, but I'm sure the news will filter down. There'll be a little thumbs up, there'll be code words and code kind of body language from family and friends in the stands. If a player wants to know, I'm sure by now they will know.
It looks as though Zinsberger may have picked up this problem when she was nearly dispossessed by Brynjarsdottir here.
Yeah, well, it was a poor decision really. You can see Brynjar's Dottir is on the front foot. And when you're receiving the ball as a goalkeeper, that's what you've got to scan and you've got to take in is, okay, who is square on? So therefore, I've got to take a step to get into position to try and run me down. If a player is on that front foot and looking ready to go, you know you have got a fraction of a second to either take a touch and hit it, or it's got to go first time, regardless of what the game plan is.
She's kept the most clean sheets in the WSL this season, 12 in her 19 starts for Arsenal.
But for me, it's probably the thing she can continue to work on if Eidevall is going to continue with wanting to play out the back, is to be as crisp in a touch and a release of the ball. I think Zinsberg can still improve in that department.
Half an hour played then, and there is a great deal of tension in the air, despite the fact that genuine goal-scoring opportunities have been relatively limited. Catley underneath it. McCabe jostling. Catley there again. Falty gets the throw.
In any other context of an Arsenal-West Ham game, you would suggest Arsenal would 9 times out of 10, if not more, go out and win this game. Not a canter, but, you know, over the course of 90 minutes. But you put it in the context of it being a title-winning game, potentially. And that is where the difference is. This is where Jonas Eidevall's only had one season, really, to implement his mindset and his mentality of what he wants from his players to be winners. And he's inferred that that is still something that his team needs to be better at.
Little and Ford chasing it, doesn't have enough elevation on it to reach them though. Here's Wynn. All turning into trouble. Little leading the charge. Mead wants it. 3 to aim for in the centre. Can't find Little though. And Arsenal generally have not been able to find that final pass when they've got themselves into promising positions.
Need to go first time for Beth Mead. Took a little touch and that just allowed West Ham to get back, congest the area a little bit more. Need to keep this momentum up, Arsenal, if you want to get ahead before half-time.
Jordan Nobbs with a watching brief today, still out injured, still waiting to see whether she might be available for England during the Euros. Jonas Eidevall was unable to give any update on that front.
Jordan Nobbs, another player out of contract at the end of this season. He's not been able to have any really run of certainly starts or even performances under Eidevall this season. Excellent player for England though, for club and country over the years.
Sissoko, heavy touch, and this is trouble. It's Mead on the surge. Oh, once again, all it needed was that final pass, and Arsenal were in, and Beth Mead couldn't provide it.
Fantastic covering from Flaherty. Said that in possession at the back, West Ham looked like they had an error in them, and that's exactly what I was inferring. Was Sissoko in possession? Just doesn't look like she's a possession-based player, but ultimately another missed opportunity from Beth Mead. Good covering from Flaherty. Ex-Arsenal player, looking to spoil the party today.
Now won 13 major honours with Arsenal during her time at the club. Catley has Mead giving her the short option, but she launches it into the area, and Arnold, I think, got a slight fist on that.
Yeah, again, she's commanded a box excellently, those in-swingers from Catley. Mackenzie Arnold, she's dealt with all of them, catching one, punching two. Short from Arsenal.
Mead. Ford. Little. Good squeeze from West Ham. Moritz. Little. Williamson's up there and fizzes in the cross. Nearly came the way of Caitlin Ford. Little straight into Brynjarsdottir. Valti. 10 minutes to go until the break. Arsenal still searching for the breakthrough. However, as things stand, they will be champions. Mead, good surge, Sissoko dives in. Corner for Arsenal, could have been worse for West Ham there, with Sissoko again making a lunge.
See why Beth Mead's wanting to go up against Sissoko every single time. She's been able to commit her quick feet. I think that tackle would have been deemed to be just outside the box. Just hadn't incurred a foul, but another chance. Need to whip it in a little bit more, a bit shorter, because the keeper's dealt with everything up till now. I'd be looking at the near post. Katie McCabe has the height advantage.
Catley with the latest Arsenal corner, which is towards the near post, and again very competent keeping from Mackenzie Arnold, who's quick to get it forwards. Walker, Miedemar snapping at her heels.
It's a great feeling as a goalkeeper when 4 dangerous crosses, 4 wonderful plucks out the air, take the pressure off your defenders. It makes you feel about 10 feet tall as well. Mackenzie Arnold's executed those fantastically well.
Well, more live football for you on the BBC next weekend. The Women's FA Cup final, Chelsea against Manchester City, BBC One next Sunday from 10 to 2.
Hoping for more sunshine at Wembley. I've managed to get myself in the gantry and in the sunshine for today's game as well.
Yeah, miles away from me in the sunshine while I'm still in the shade.
Just happened to manoeuvre a few boxes and extend a few leads to be able to get myself peering over the edge of the gantry.
Priorities and all that. Here's Valti. Priority for Arsenal is to try and get themselves in front, because that would mean that there would need to be a 2-goal swing for Chelsea. At the moment, just 1 would be enough. Oh, and here's a chance. Ford. And again, West Ham with enough bodies in the way. Miedemar onto the loose ball, though. And Sissoko coolly lets it roll through to Arnold.
Eidevall likes the tempo. He likes how the ball's being moved quickly. It's a lovely ball through to Maritz. I thought she was going to strike it or square it. But ultimately, brilliant block from Yallop. Initially, Sissoko cleverly letting it run through to her goalkeeper. They're doing a good job, West Ham, of really squeezing Arsenal, making it difficult to find any through roads in those tight forward areas.
Little. Catley. Slightly behind her. McCabe gets it towards Miedemar. Free kick Arsenal.
Decided not to let the advantage go this time, the referee. Interesting to see whether great feet from McCabe. It's just a little tug of the arm, isn't it, from Adriana Leon to slow her down. Enough to convince the ref it was a free kick. Will it be a lefty? Will it be Beth Mead? I'd favour Beth Mead whipping this one in.
So Catley and Mead in attendance. And it is left for Mead to deliver. Good one as well, but once again, Arnold in just the right spot.
It's a brilliant ball from Beth Mead. She's expecting a runner, any sort of glance then, the pace and the dip that was on that ball. Any connection towards goal would have made it impossible for Mackenzie Arnold in goal. All being said, it's an excellent take from her. Good starting position.
Williamson, loose pass. Yallop. Sissoko. Win. Shuffles it onto Yallop. Flaherty. Yallop again. Ambitious pass, but she's pulled it off. That's quite the ball. And plenty in claret and blue are up there, and it's a shame that the pass didn't reach any of them. Yallop keeps it going. Half away by Wubben-Moy. Little. Sprayed towards Mead, but too much on it.
There's a lovely little passage of play from the back. Ball out wide from Yallop to Leon. For West Ham, they just couldn't quite make enough of it. It's Arsenal who've been knocking on the door, but partly down to Arsenal's less than clinical finishing and partly down to some excellent defending from West Ham. Remains 0-0.
Arsenal unable to find a way through so far. They have been full of goals in this winning run, scoring 29 in the last 7 in the WSL. But West Ham holding firm and perhaps looking for a goal of their own here. Tidied up by Wubben-Moy. West Ham in a hurry with the throw. Cleared by Wubben-Moy. She made a lot of ground there with the throw, McCabe, trying to steal a good 20 yards or so, but she was wise to it. That's broken for Walker. Back from Fisk. Now Longhurst. Yallop. Oh, and Walker's control lets her down there. Miedema. Crowded out. Walker. On for Yallop. Trying to get it back to Walker. Easy enough for Catley to deal with. Nudge back for Miedema. Excellent hold-up play from her. Well, they do get the free kick they were hoping for. Williamson. Into Little. Nice pass that. Little looking for options. It's Mead. Maritz. Williamson. Arsenal looking for the breakthrough in the final few minutes of the half.
So difficult. And Lee Williamson played that ball into Kim Little, who's broke the lines of midfield, but West Ham retreats so quickly with 10 players around in such a small area. So difficult to play through for Arsenal. See that Arsenal are a little bit tense there. Not the free-flowing Arsenal that we've seen.
Miedema after this one. And she's got there too. Miedema. And still, lovely stuff from Miedema. They're queuing up! And Ford couldn't put it away. Maritz. Keeper thought about coming, then decided to stay. Miedema took it down beautifully, but then drilled it straight into Mackenzie Arnold. Probably the closest Arsenal have come so far.
You need a little bit of magic in such a tense affair. You anticipate it could come from Miedema. Magic in her boots. Mackenzie Arnold does really well. You can see here defenders holding her off. Keeping her up, but dives in from such a tight angle, it's going to be difficult. Keeper makes a good save. Expect an Arsenal player to be following that in, driving it in.
And there's Dottie up against Williamson, and Williamson's done well. 2 additional minutes at the end of this first half. Little. Here's Mead. Let it run for Ford. Back to Mead. Did well there. And still Mead. Oh, but she's pulled back for the foul. And I have to admit, I didn't think there was too much in that.
Saw Hasegawa straight away roll as if she'd been just had a little tug to hold her back. I thought it was just stronger play from Beth Mead. We'll see now. She gets across. Yeah, it's a little tug of the shirt. Up by the collar. Just spins Hasegawa around. Otherwise, Beth Mead would have been clean through.
Hasegawa. Fisk. And again. Charged down by Miedemar. Might be the last chance of the half here. Ford. Little can't get there, but it will break for Maritz, whose pass is sloppy. Williamson sliding in. Good challenge from her. Might turn into a useful pass as well. Mead. Little. It's Little! And it's a long way off target.
Well, it looks like it's going to be 0-0 going in at half-time. Arsenal need to stay patient. They're trying to play, keep the tempo up, play out quickly from the back, but they've got 45 minutes to go on and win this game. West Ham, look. They're defending excellently. Banks of 4, Banks of 5 at the back. Some last-ditch defending, but the quality of Arsenal is there for everyone to see. West Ham have held them at bay.
Win. So no way through for Arsenal in the first half. As it stands, it would be good enough for Jonas Eidevall's side, but Arsenal not at their best, Rachel, while West Ham have put up a good fight.
Yeah, tactically, West Ham have done an exceptional job. As soon as they're out of possession, they bank up, back 5, back 4, the midfield 4, and Claudia Walker just come and sit and make it so congested. Arsenal got to find a way of spreading out the play, getting out wide, and trying to open up some gaps, because West Ham have been so defiant in this first half.
Well, the biggest cheer from the Arsenal fans so far is news of the scoreline from Kingsmeadow. Here, though, it is West Ham 0, Arsenal 0.
Well, it's still not half-time at Chelsea, where all the drama is being provided in the twists and turns and ebbs and flows of this championship decider, because of course it is Manchester United who are turning out to be the main player in terms of the drama on this final day. They are the ones who've created a very different narrative perhaps to the one that Chelsea would have foreseen at the beginning of the day, and that 2-1 lead that they have at Kingsmeadow would give Arsenal, as things stand, the title. They have a superior goal difference to Chelsea, and they're both level on 53 points. I'm not sure what's more surprising, the way that Manchester United have attacked that first half, or the way that perhaps Arsenal are going in at half-time, Jonas Eidevall's side, without a goal, in spite of having the lion's share of possession. They've had chances as well. But Farrah Williams, would you agree, perhaps a little bit of nerves as well? A little bit. We sensed that from Jonas Eidevall, didn't we? We were sitting right above the dugout, and he himself looked quite tense throughout that 45 minutes.
Yeah, I would say so. I think this is the most tense and nervy I've actually seen him, and you can see that in the reflection of the players. The players are feeling it. I think the standout player for Arsenal is Miedemar. I think she's a calm player within the 11 that are playing, but you can feel it. But these Arsenal fans here are obviously giving these Arsenal players that little bit of confidence, letting them know what's happening over at Kingsmeadow.
It's been very exciting, hasn't it? We've sat there kind of seeing both benches, seeing the scorelines changing. In fact, at one point, I've got my earpiece in. I think I was talking a bit too loudly when I revealed that Manchester United had gone ahead. Yeah, but the ebbs and flows of this is kind of what we expected on this final day. It just feels a little bit frustrating from the Arsenal perspective that they can't take hold of the game here.
That's right. I feel like I agree with Farah. I feel like they've had some really good opportunities, but the control, we normally see Arsenal control the possession, control the ball and really dominate, and they have done, but not as, they're giving away sloppy passes, and we normally see that cutting edge in the 18-yard box, and we haven't seen that so far.
Yeah, half-time whistle has blown at Kings Meadow. Manchester United do take that 2-1 lead into the dressing room. Of course, they themselves are looking for a third-place finish, so a Champions League spot would be theirs if they could do that, but they are relying on Manchester City, as you'll see in a moment, results elsewhere, but City would need to lose for that to happen. Let's focus back, though, on matters here, and Beth Mead, who's been an outstanding player all season, has arguably had the best chance for Arsenal this afternoon.
Yeah, well, it's a really good battle down that side, Beth Mead versus Sissoko. But also she gets herself central, doesn't she? I think that's asking a lot for her for score in that position. It's a really ambitious effort, I think, but that's the type of form she is. Everything she's hitting at the minute is going goal bound, so you can see why she's gone for that.
I think it's this one that's most disappointing about Beth Mead. She's been fantastic all season, and we saw on Wednesday night against Tottenham, she took it herself. Here, she's driving towards goal. You'd have thought she'd have used the defender to go past her and take her own shot. She's tried to play her teammate in, and great defending.
Yeah, we've seen her do that all season, as you say. She's got a fantastic amount of assists this season as well. Is that the occasion that just is getting to her and the other Arsenal players in that final third?
I think I'd say so a little bit. I think you can see it. I think, as Bas mentioned, in and around this final third, they're a little bit edgy. They're a little bit slow in terms of their mindset and what they're and their decision making and what they're trying to do. But I'm sure when they go in at the half and they hear the result at Kings Meadow, that'll just relax them a little bit, and they'll come out a different team, I think, in the second half.
West Ham defender Sissoko has already had a couple of red cards this season, as Rachel pointed out in commentary, and she's had a couple of moments today where she's lucky not to have got a card, a yellow card perhaps, and maybe even a penalty.
Yeah, that's right. I like watching Sissoko play. I think she's always between that fine line, isn't she? But for me, this on first glance, it's like, it could be reckless, but actually on the replay and slowing it down a little bit closer, she doesn't touch Beth Mead, and you can actually see her appealing for a yellow card for diving. It's a long limb, puts it out, but there's no contact there.
Yeah, West Ham have had to be good on the counter. That's what they've done today, isn't it? And they have had moments where they've really threatened Arsenal, and they've taken advantage as well, I think, of a little bit of nervousness that's going on in the Arsenal back line as well. And they've kind of added to the drama, West Ham. They're not going to sit down and just let this whole thing happen in front of their eyes.
Yeah, they have. Look, they're a really organised team. I think with their back five, they play a box midfield, which I think Arsenal are finding it really difficult. And then, look, they're trying to take this game to Arsenal. As I said, they're trying to make something of the final day of the season. They've been fantastic. They've had a few chances, half chances on the counter-attack. But I think, as I say, Arsenal are playing a little bit into their hands in terms of the nerves that they're playing with. But I think they've been fantastic.
You mentioned how impressed you are always with Miedema, who seemed to be the calm head amongst the Arsenal shirts. And she had, late on in that half, an opportunity herself.
Yeah, you can just see here, look, she is so calm. She just stands the defender up and takes it past her and just cuts one across the box. It's fantastic block from the West Ham defenders here, but she's been a threat all day. She's the one person, if anything's going to happen today, it'll come through her. You can see here, she just stands the defender, takes it past her and hits one across goal.
You just always feel like she's 2, 3, 4 steps ahead of everybody else, or sometimes even her own teammates.
Yeah.
But she's the calm, go-to, assured player that's going to make something happen.
Yeah, we can talk perhaps post-match as well about where her future lies, talk of her perhaps leaving Arsenal at the end of this season. But that's a conversation for a lot later on, because there's so much more for us to show you right now. The phones were all out. The Arsenal fans were busy checking what was going on at Kings Meadow during that first half, and they were thrilled when it was Manchester United who took the lead in that game at Kings Meadow. And we can show you those goals now. It was Martha Thomas who got Manchester United off to their early. It was quite early in the game, wasn't it? It was about 12 minutes in.
Yeah, really. Look, it's a fantastic delivery in from Katie Zellum, and Martha Thomas with the header. I mean, Chelsea will be disappointed with the defending, and maybe Berger in goal probably would have felt like she could have done more, but brilliant. She gets between the centre halves and she's unmarked in the box. It's a fantastic header from a fantastic delivery.
And then Erin Cuthbert gets the equaliser.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good ball in. We know Jess Carter's got a long throw, but to be alive in that 18-yard box, and Erin Cuthbert, she's been a standout player for Chelsea all season, playing in numerous positions, but to react first and have a great strike in the bottom corner is a really good finish.
Emma Hayes, suitably excited there on the touchline. The atmosphere at Kings Meadow has been amazing all half. And then Ella Toone, though, silenced the crowd.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great cross, really dug one out to the back post. She hits a volley and it looks as if it deflects off the defender and in and over Berger. So, look, again, Chelsea will be disappointed with the defending, but look, fantastic finish here. You can see it, the volley at the back post. takes a slight defection off the defender and it just sends the keeper the wrong way and goes in at the near post. But look,
so
nobody spoke about Man United, and they have turned up today and they're putting a performance
Mark
on.
Skinner's women have done that to the table effectively, because no goals here. It's 0-0 between West Ham and Arsenal, but that scoreline at Kings Meadow means it's Arsenal who would lift the trophy in just over an hour's time if things stay as they are. I can't imagine that things will stay as they are. There are going to be more twists and turns. Let's head over to Reshmin Chowdhury, though, who is at Kings Meadow for us, and get a sense of what is going on there with Siobhan Chamberlain.
Gabby, thank you very much. I can tell you the Manchester United fans were loud pre-match. They've been loud all through this first half. And you can see why, Siobhan. What a first 45 minutes that's been.
Oh, it's been brilliant. Manchester United came out the traps really early. They didn't let Chelsea settle. Got the early goal, which let them relax a little bit. Chelsea, obviously, you know they're going to come back into it. But United have definitely deserved their lead. They've been dominating 1v1 battles and playing really well.
You say Chelsea are going to come back into it. What needs to happen at half-time right now?
Well, I can imagine Emma Hayes might have some choice words at half-time. If the team want to win the league today, then they're going to have to up their performance, and she might make a couple of tactical changes. They just weren't at the races. Their 1v1 battles weren't being won. They weren't dominating enough in the midfield, all over the pitch, really. So they've got to come out with a slightly different mentality if they're going to win this game today.
Nerves a little bit, do you think? Do you think that played a part?
Yeah, definitely. I think they look nervous. I think, like we said beforehand, that Manchester United looked like the shackles were taken off. They were playing with a freedom, and Chelsea kind of were at the opposite.
Okay, huge 45 minutes coming up here at Kings Meadow. We're going to really enjoy this one. I'm sure you will too.
Certainly, I think nerves all over the place today. Arsenal fans hanging on to that scoreline with hope, hoping their team, though, can come out in the second half and get themselves a goal. But this is how things stand across the rest of the matches. Aston Villa trailing to Birmingham City. They're going out with a hurrah from the WSL at the moment. Everton leading also against Brighton and Hove Albion by 1-0. You know what's going on at Kings Meadow. It's Manchester City 2, Reading 0, though, at the moment. Tottenham and Leicester are goalless, as are we here at Victoria Road. Reshmin mentioned there, I think Siobhan mentioned as well, what's going on in the dressing room in these two different grounds. Obviously, they're completely aware, aren't they? They can't not be about what's happening in the other stadium, but they have to focus on the job in hand here. You know, the regret for Jonas Eidevall would be that, you know, that they don't get a goal here and somehow things conspire against them, you know, there. They've got to be in control of their destiny.
Yeah, most definitely. Look, you can't rely on other teams to do a job for you. I think they have to get the result here today, and I'm sure, as I said, they're going at the half. They'll explain to the players what's going on at Kings Meadow, and hopefully that will relax these Arsenal players a little bit, and we'll get to see them playing the football that we know they can play.
I think also, like, you can see when the players and Jonas Eidevall walked into the tunnel, they're really getting after this Arsenal crowd to get behind them. They know they can do it. They know the performance have been there. It's just, and you can hear the crowd are certainly joining in and loving every minute of this.
Yeah, the atmosphere here has been absolutely brilliant. Noise all the way through that half there, and noise again next week at Wembley. It is the men's and women's FA Cup finals.
Before any leagues anywhere in the world came the FA Cup. Ladies and Chelsea through to another FA Cup final.
Liverpool, their quadruple is still alive.
The FA Cup finals, live on the BBC.
And that has sent Chelsea to Wembley.
City lead, and it's Ellen White.
With Chelsea versus Manchester City in the women's.
The momentous Wembley day.
And Chelsea versus Liverpool in the men's. Starts Saturday from 4 on BBC One and iPlayer.
Yeah, great weekend to look forward to. We're going to be live from Wembley, and we've more football to come on the BBC. Listen to Premier League Sunday on BBC Sounds from 2 o'clock, which features 5 live commentary of Arsenal against Leeds, followed by Manchester City versus Newcastle. Then we've got highlights of the final round of matches of the WSL. That's later tonight on the Women's Football Show at 11:45 on BBC One. And on BBC Sounds, you can listen to Jill Scott's Coffee Club for an intimate glimpse into the women's game with the England legend, and 5 Live's Ben Haynes and special guests there for you. Well, Jordan Nobbs, injured at the moment, is watching on a bag of nerves. That must be the worst thing ever for a player, Laura, when you can't affect what's going on the pitch.
Yeah, that's right. I think you're trying to affect in any way you can, having those conversations, building belief and confidence, and Yeah, you just want to be a part of it. You know, nothing more than you want to be out there, like you say, trying to put it in your control, but you just try and be in and amongst it. And we wish Jordan all the very best. I'm sure we'll see her back out soon, boss.
Certainly do. It would be so cruel, wouldn't it, if she was to miss another championship, another women's championship for England. Of course, such bad timing for her in 2019, and hopefully she can get herself back on the pitch and affecting play both for Arsenal and for England. And of course, West Ham, you know, we obviously the narrative today is about a championship. So we're talking Arsenal, we're talking Chelsea. West Ham have made enormous progress over the last few seasons. It will be really interesting to see where they go and how they grow in the years to come.
Yeah, definitely. I think, look, they're certainly a progressive team. They're a team that they're ambitious. They're an ambitious club. You've seen the men's team, the women's team are trying to match that. Look, they've showed this season they can really compete, and now it's about adding some experience to that. And look, I think they stand a great chance next season of really trying to compete in that top four.
Jonas Eidevall, if he doesn't win here today, will have finished the season without a trophy. And he said, hasn't he, I think pre-match he said to Kelly as well, that is the thing that kind of sticks in the throat to him as well, the way that they performed in that delayed FA Cup final and kind of so below the standard they'd set.
Yeah, that's right. I think, look, nature, you can tell he's a winner, ultimate winner, and so his players want it. He wants to breathe that culture and belief, and you want something to show for it. You don't want to be that nearly team or if only and have plenty of moments of regret like that. So you can, look, we're competitive. It's elite sport. You want to have something to show for it, so I can see why he said that.
The flip side of that, and he's trying to put a positive spin on, was that Arsenal haven't been in the top two since they won the title. That's the last time they were in the top two, effectively, 3 years ago. So, you know, that is progress, isn't it? And you have seen on the pitch this season, Farah, certainly an improvement in Arsenal's style of play.
Yeah, certainly an improvement. I think he's right in saying it is progress, and that, as I mentioned before the game, it is about trying to shift their mentality. Emma Hayes has done that really well at Chelsea, and that's something I think he's identified needing to do here at Arsenal.
That is things as they stand right now at half-time. It is Arsenal's title at the moment. Kim Little will be lifting that trophy aloft in about 45 minutes' time if things stay as they are. They are level on points, but Arsenal have a superior goal difference. Jonas Eidevall, though, I'm sure knows in his heart there's no way things are going to stay as they are in both these grounds. He could still win this, but there's going to be goals. Where are they going to come from? Where is this title going to go? Who will affect that here? Beth Mead certainly with the best of the chances for Arsenal in that first half, but they need big performances from all their key players.
Most definitely. You can see a shot there. They're huddling up together, but yeah, you need big performances in the second half, and I'm sure they're going to get that.
OK, let's go back to sunning themselves up there high in the commentary box. Rachel Brown-Finnis and Mark Scott. Big wave back to you there, Rachel.
Thanks, Gabby. Well, Rachel certainly in the sun. Will it be Arsenal's day in the sun here in Dagenham? As things stand, they will be champions. But as Gabby was saying, there is surely no chance that there will be no further twists and turns in the battle for the title.
Not much
no
of a
changes
team
from either side at half-time.
Just going to say, not much of a team talk required from Jonas Eidevall. Half-time. If he was to, it's wise to present the other games half-time score, because you know, it drip feeds down from various people. Some people know, some people don't. But everyone on a level playing field, and what more motivation do you need than your rivals who need to win, are losing against Manchester United? You've just got to do your job, and ultimately at the beginning that's all you can focus on. You need to relax and get back into their play, keep the tempo high, keep the ball sharp and moving, because this team, West Ham, are going to tire. They've done a lot of chasing, but they've been very resolute in their defensive duties, in their organisation. Arsenal need to do what Arsenal have done best all season, and that's score goals.
Well, 45 minutes of the WSL season remains, and it is still very much up for grabs. Arsenal, as things stand, will be champions, but it only takes a goal swing at Kings Meadow to change that.
I thought you were going to quote take that then, it only takes a minute. Yeah, I thought that's what you were going to genuinely say.
I'll leave that to you.
Could be a dance floor classic that for tonight's celebrations if Arsenal were to go on and win.
Well, it is a lovely day in London for celebrations, be it that of Arsenal or Chelsea. Good ball in, and Ford couldn't quite get the touch. McCabe had a swing and a miss at it as well. Early chance for Arsenal in the first minute of the second half.
It was a great ball in, wasn't it? An absolute bullet, but really well marshalled by Sissoko. My instinct was it was a handball. I'm seeing the replay now for the first time. And I think it's Sissoko gets her foot almost around her at the near post, McCabe, to get it away. Really good defending.
Little. Here's Wubben-Moy. Catley. Miedemar, useful ball. Mead very nearly in. Collects it anyway. Mead across and gathered safely by Arnold.
You can see Arsenal's intention from this first minute. Get that ball forwards, get it wide. Beth Mead down that right-hand side in the first half was so effective. You can see their hunting impacts Arsenal.
There's been another goal at Chelsea. Sam Kerr has scored. It is 2-2. Quite the hit from Sam Kerr, the top scorer in the WSL this season, with a big goal for Chelsea. And that means that Chelsea are back top as things stand, unless Arsenal get one here. Miedemar still going, gets the corner.
Wow, that is a stinger, that one, isn't it? What a strike from Sam Kerr. Player of the Year as well, just been awarded. Finally hitting that form that I think every Chelsea fan wanted when they had one of the world's best strikers signed.
It is still within Arsenal's grasp, though, if they can win and Chelsea don't get another goal, they will be champions. Good looking corner, this time Arnold can't get there, Miedemar can. It will be another Arsenal corner.
A bit more pace on that corner from Beth Mead, yet an outswinger, but you can see she was aiming for the back post. Wubben-Moy. Miedemar does really well to actually direct the ball, and it's Catley who's going to take it, left-footed outswinger. It's a different tactic this time. We recognise that Arnold in goal has been collecting everything in swinger-wise.
Just a bit of a breeze getting up here as well.
Short corner.
Little took too long and had it nicked off her toes by Leon.
Everything set piece wise that Arsenal have thrown at West Ham, they've responded brilliantly. From the goalkeeper to the defenders.
Miedemar, Mead. Here's Ford. Still Ford. Opens up for the hit. And it nearly came the way of Catley as well. Williamson. Arsenal starting the second half like they mean business. What would the main message have been from Jonas Eidevall at half-time then, Rachel?
Intensity, it needed. You could see there were little waves and patches for Arsenal where you felt they were going to score and they just never capitalised on them. And, you know, that ebb then, the pace sort of dropped off and West Ham were allowed back into it. To put the foot down, Arsenal, and to keep that foot down. There's 45 minutes left of the season and it's now or never for them.
Like it went out, but nothing doing from Chloe-Ann Anderson on this near side. It's been a topsy-turvy afternoon without Arsenal having scored so far. Chelsea back top of the table, courtesy of that Sam Kerr leveller. 2-2 between Chelsea and Manchester United at Kings Meadow. It would really sting if Chelsea were to drop points and Arsenal don't get the title because they don't get the job done here themselves.
There'll be some sleepless nights if that does happen.
Miedemar surging forwards, useful ball. Ford took it well, couldn't get the hit away.
Again, brilliant defending from Sissoko. The ball's still in. It's not gone out for a corner or a throw-in. Still live.
Catley. Little. Certainly more of that intensity that you were talking about, Rachel, from Arsenal early on in this second half. And the hit from Miedemar could have gone anywhere, nearly came to Ford. Sissoko will collect.
There's such good awareness from Kim Little. As the ball was about to be crossed in, thinking, right, she ain't going to fancy a header, Kim Little. What she does is give herself a bit of space to be able to cushion the ball down for a teammate to have a free strike on it. So clever, Kim Little.
Miedemar. Zinsberger upfield. Here's Valti. Into Ford. Slipped in to McCabe. McCabe's cross. Oh, and here's a chance. Ford! Can't find a way through.
Great skill from Miedemar. Brings it down, little touch, little swivel. But what a block. I think it was Grace Fisk who made that block. But again, 3 central defenders all within sort of 5 yards. Making that an iron curtain for them to try and get through Arsenal. Do really well to bunch up and make it difficult to get through.
Iron's curtain, I like it. Valti. Wubben-Moy. Williamson. Slotty again. Sissoko. Williamson. Isagawa. Met by McCabe. Here's Catley. On towards Miedemar, but not enough on the pass. Little. McCabe's in space on this near side. Little drag back. It's going to be a yellow for Brynjas Dottir.
She's done so well, Brynjas Dottir, in this first opening 50-odd minutes against one of the world's best centre midfielders. I mean, so much for Kim Little, should Arsenal go on to win this title. Leading the next generation of Arsenal players.
Here is
second spell.
Here is Little again. Corner. But before the corner is taken, news of another goal at Kings Meadow. And for the first time this afternoon, Chelsea are in front. It's Guro Reiten who has scored the goal. And if Chelsea hold on to that lead, there is nothing Arsenal can do to take the title off them.
Well, if you thought Jonas Eidevall had a difficult half-time team talk, Emma Hayes. Some of the transformations in performances from first to second half with Emma Hayes and her team talks, she's really proves what a fantastic, not only coach, but a manager as well. Manager of the emotional situation, the context of the pressure in that game, what the players would feel. They've transformed that result as it stands.
Not good news for Jordan Nobbs and all of those of an Arsenal persuasion from Kings Meadow. Miedemar's big switch, too big for McCabe.
Excellent technique, good vision and intention, Miedemar. just ran out of pitch down this near side.
Jonas Eidevall did try to perhaps turn up the heat on Chelsea a bit, saying that they were the team with something to lose. It's not quite been Ferguson and Wenger, but Hayes and Eidevall is simmering nicely.
Yeah, it's not quite the longevity of those two you mentioned, but there's certainly a little bit of needle, a bit of fire. I think Eidevall presumed his naive tactics, it seems now, of trying to outwit or maybe ruffle up Emma Hayes. She ain't gonna fall for that. She's been around for years. She's played all of those games with previous managers. She's one of the best.
And after her purring comments earlier on this season, she may well be the one looking like the cat that's got the cream tonight. Clattered clear by Arnold. It feels like a bit of a lull for Arsenal if they did start with intensity.
Absolutely, and that's what happened in the first half. It goes sort of 3-4 minutes and you felt a goal was coming, and West Ham thwarted them. A little bit of finesse required in that final third wasn't there for Arsenal.
So at the start of this second half, Chelsea needed a goal to turn things around in their favour. They've scored 2, and now Arsenal need a 2-goal swing. One here for starters, and they're not going to get it from this attack because Mead is offside.
It's a tight one. So exactly what Beth Mead was doing, and she ran from the outside and inside and kind of back onside. Yeah, it does look like she did stray off. Good defensive back line from Sissoko. Wonderful movement from Beth Mead, though.
She's been involved in 10 WSL goals against West Ham, Beth Mead, one of her favourite opponents. Defending for Arsenal here, and they'll have a corner to defend as well as Catley gets the touch behind.
I feel like this place would erupt if West Ham were to get a lead here. They've not had a huge amount to cheer about the inconsistency of West Ham over the last couple of years, I'd suggest. Ollie Harder at the helm, Paul Konchesky in as assistant manager. It's got to be a big lift for the club. He did his A licence, to chat with Farrah Williams before. He did his A licence with Farrah Williams. Did Paul Konchesky.
Corner for West Ham. Leon delivers. And went out of play before it reached anyone in claret and blue.
Can't even imagine how frustrating that is for Ollie Harder. Just turned away in displeasure, I would say, at that corner.
Change then for Arsenal. Ford is going off. And Blackstenius is on, who was subbed herself in the North London derby, and McCabe came on for her. You were saying to me earlier, Rachel, that she wasn't quite at it in that game at the Emirates.
Yeah, I didn't feel she had the real quality that she has shown, or that she came, with her on a CV. Not quite got up to the speed or the cutting edge of the WSL yet. But she'll have a point to prove after being brought off in the North London derby at the Emirates. Blackstenius, ahead of the Euros this summer, be itching to get on the score sheet. And what a key goal it would be should Arsenal get a lead today.
Miedemar receiving it in a dangerous area. Blackstenius just on! Has scored! Talk about an immediate impact! It could still be a crucial goal in the title race. Off the bench and straight into the thick of it. Stina Blackstenius with her 7th of the season to make it West Ham 0, Arsenal 1.
Well, the build-up was a thing of beauty. That ball into Miedemar, receiving it in between the midfield and the defensive thirds. The turn of Blackstenius, the run getting herself in between the two centre halves. Sissoko with her arm up, no chance of offside, and just slots it wide. Kenzie Arnold does the best to try and get down, but too far in the corner, and she said, what an impact. As we said, Arsenal can only do what they can do, and that's go out and win their part, win this game. Whatever happens at Chelsea, at Kingsmeadow, that's out of their control.
7 goals in 16 games for the Swedish international since she joined Arsenal, and we're back to it being a 1-goal title race. Chelsea still in the box seat, but if Manchester United were to equalise at Kingsmeadow, Arsenal would be back top of the pile. It's still nip and tuck with half an hour of the season to play. Mead trying to extend Arsenal's advantage here, away from Sissoko. Mead! Inches away from an absolute cracker.
Well, that's classic Beth Mead, just coming off the wide. Central, the goal, the width of the goal. That shot, either left foot, right foot. She has got a rocket. This one here, absolute pile driver across the keeper, no chance. Ricochets down off the bar. Feel now the deadlock has been broken, that Arsenal could really put their foot down, keep their foot down, and get more than just the one.
Little. Williamson. Wobenmoy. Zinsberger. Ooh, loose. Helped on by Yallop. Tidied up by Maritz. Stenius, Sissoko, Yallop. What have West Ham got by way of response? Well, they've got defending perhaps to do here. McCabe carries. Blackstenius to the left, Mead to the right. She goes for Beth Mead. McCabe. Important touch that from Sissoko. And it actually came off McCabe last.
Yeah, it's good cover. You're seeing that Julie Flaherty looks like she's tiring a little bit, and that striding run forward from Katie McCabe. You know, Arsenal don't just have a centre forward, they've got the front three, they've got midfielders who bomb on and join in an attack. There's lots of prongs to their attack.
Here come Arsenal again. And the hit this time is just wide from Miedemar.
Yeah, they've got a taste for it now, Arsenal. The goal from Blackstenius. That beautiful straight from Beth Mead that rattled the bar. Half a yard now, and Arsenal players are taking their chances.
West Ham have lost 17 of the last 21 WSL games that they have conceded the first goal in. And the fact that Arsenal are taking charge has sparked the need for a change. Wynn is going to depart here, and Katarina Zvitkova, who was dropped to the bench this afternoon, is going to come on.
Yeah, the Czech Republic international has been pretty much an ever-present this season. Surprised to see her on the bench. Whether it intertwines with her contract finishing at the end of the season, who knows?
Catley collects. Miedemar on the overlap. Catley! 2-0! Arsenal are keeping up their end of the bargain. Steph Catley gives Arsenal breathing space at West Ham. They are heading towards the 3 points that they need. And focus perhaps now switches to events at Kingsmeadow. West Ham 0, Arsenal 2.
That was a wonderful finish. I was right behind it from where we were stood and commentating. Steph Catley, no pressure on the ball, opens up, sees that gap at the near post. No defender got down the line of it, so the keeper still had to cover the whole goal. But this is wonderful technique. To get the power, just opens up and slots it high into the corner. He talked about Arsenal having quality from every dimension on the pitch. Steph Catley's played left back today.
Well, he said that Steph Catley is one of the best players in the world in her position after the Australian signed a new contract with Arsenal this week. She says that she feels right at home at Arsenal, and she struck that home brilliantly to put Arsenal in charge here, but of course there's only so much they can do.
They can go out now and not relax because it's not done and dusted at 2-0, but you feel they're in the groove now, Arsenal, that more goals should come. West Ham look a bit disjointed, a bit tired in their pressing.
Well, while Arsenal are in control here, Chelsea have also got themselves a 2-goal lead against Manchester United. Sam Kerr has scored once again, which means that Chelsea are looking very well set for the title now after a very well taken goal from Sam Kerr. So 2 Australians score on either side of London, and it means that his side's efforts here are likely to be in vain now.
So the celebrations there from Sam Kerr and the entire bench for Chelsea. They think that that is it. That the job is done against Manchester United.
And confirmation of how things look now. Both sides in front, so Chelsea maintain the 1-point advantage they had before kickoff. No matter how many times you look at it, it's not going to change the score.
I was going to say that if Arsenal do sign off here with a win, a convincing win in the sunshine, it would be something to sign off a pretty successful season for the Arsenal fans. I don't think it made Jordan Nobbs happy.
Well, they would finish second despite having only lost 1 game all season. Shows the calibre of this WSL title race. The margin for error is so slim.
And they'll reflect on the season where they dropped points. They lost to Birmingham, who have gone down. You know, that is their only loss of the season for Arsenal. And you look at where they've drawn games that they could have won. When it comes down to 1 point in the championship for the race for the title, they've got a better goal difference. You reflect on games where you could have won, you should have won. It's so frustrating.
Bounce doesn't do Longhurst any favours there.
But all of those memories and those reflections will serve Arsenal in good stead for next season. You know, Chelsea have done this before. The majority of the squad have won the title last season altogether. They've only built on their squad. Arsenal, there's a lot of new players here. Every single player and fan will hope that Miedema will be part of Arsenal trying to get that title off Chelsea next season.
Barcelona said to be sniffing around Viv Miedema, who has said herself that she wants to be at a club who matches her ambitions. I wonder if the extension of Jonas Eidevall's contract might affect her thinking. Who knows?
Well, Barcelona look like they're going to win anything and everything that's put in front of them, Champions League included. So if you want to win a Champions League and Barcelona come calling, there's no better match. And Miedema is one of the finest strikers, attacking midfielders, whichever you call it, or both, in the world.
Zvitkova trying to make a quick impact from the bench, just as Blackstenius did, but straight into the palms of Zinsberger.
Yeah, Barcelona, for those people who may be new to women's football, have in the last couple of years have become the new Lyon. Lyon, who won the Champions League, I think it's 7 times out of the last 8. Barcelona look unstoppable into the Champions League final this year. Swept aside everyone, including, was it Arsenal? Did they beat Arsenal? Yeah, in the early rounds of the Champions League. So they will have seen Viv Miedema. Viv Miedema will have seen Barcelona. I don't think anyone could blame her should she choose to move on, but it would certainly be a loss to the WSL.
Be a bit unfair, given the strength of Barcelona, if they were to nab her as well, the all-time top scorer in the WSL. West Ham trying to nab a goal to get themselves back into the shake-up here, but McCabe has flown in and sent it behind for the corner.
Yeah, really good covering there from the full-back. I think it's Merritt's actually, who tracks back really well at right back and flings a left foot out. As much as they got that 2-0 lead, they want to preserve a clean sheet.
In it goes from Leon. Free header! And wide from Brynjarsdottir. That is a good chance, and she knows it.
Best chance of the game for West Ham, and we said, didn't we, in the first half corners, that Brynjarsdottir could be a problem for Arsenal. She rose above everyone. Leah Williamson included, who was tasked with marking her, just could not get the header. It's a brilliant chance. Should have scored. Simple as that.
Her last goal came against the other title challengers in the 4-1 WSL defeat at home to Chelsea in March. That's not a bad effort. And it got a touch. This is a good rally from West Ham.
Well, they've got nothing to lose now. They've got to go for it. And it's Svikva who's just come on that left-hand side, an attacking player, attacking left midfielder, onto her right foot. Not a bad effort, deflected wide. Both managers want their substitutes to have an impact on the game.
Plenty of movement in the area. Zinsberger's decided to stay. Turned out to be the right call. Lumped forwards and collected by Sissoko. Yallop. Free kick.
Quality of the free kicks has been pretty good so far from Leon. No surprises who should be aiming for. Arsenal have to do better. Blockers have got to block Brynjarsdottir.
Brynjarsdottir trying to get free. Someone went down there. The header's off the bar. West Ham close to getting back within a goal. Still alive here for them as well, and eventually scrambled behind. It's a goal kick. It could easily have been won back for the home side there.
Yeah, it's Jilly Flaherty. He does really well to get clear. She should have hit the target. So unlucky, really, and the scramble doesn't fall in the favour of West Ham. I thought it was going to be a corner. Yallop, who keeps it alive at the back post. Yeah, and it's a tackle from Beth Mead, I think, at the back post. Should have been a corner. But West Ham fans and players will be buoyed by this little spell where they've ramped up the pressure on Arsenal.
Looked like Williamson may have actually blocked off Grace Fisk as well, which had West Ham appealing for a penalty. Looked a pretty decent shout as well.
They saw a fall to the ground during as the ball was being played. The free kick was being whipped in. See it again here. Grace Fisk looking to make a run. Leah Williamson, just blocks her off. No foul there at all. Right decision from the officials. I think the officials have been excellent today so far in decision making. It's been, we think now we watch TV on football on TV, and we expect VAR or goal line technology to be there. Remember that it's just these four doing their best to marshal the game. And as they've been under the PGMOL now, they're learning more, they're accelerated, they're learning. The standard of officiating has been much better. We hope that that continues.
Little showed too much of it to Yallop. Miedemar. It is to be her last Arsenal appearance. She'd dearly love to mark it with a goal.
Yeah, she had a couple of chances there from deep. Picked out Beth Mead. Beth Mead just straying offside. You can understand why Viv would want to move on. She's broken every record in the WSL for goal scoring, for assisting, being involved in goals. She's done everything she can, and she's not been able to lead Arsenal to a title, Champions League success, and ultimately that's what she wants, and a player of her calibre warrants. Won the European Championships for the country, got to the final of the World Cup, a lot of firsts, milestones in her career.
She's not going to be able to pick up the Golden Boot this season. She was 4 behind Sam Kerr before this afternoon, and Kerr's got 2 against Manchester United this afternoon. Catley. Asagawa. McCabe. Leon running into traffic. Miedemar. Hasegawa tangling. Miedemar comes away with it. Early pass. Good turn, Mead. Sissoko does enough. And it's in the hands of Mackenzie Arnold. Yallop. Leon was trying to get through. She was blocked off.
For all the touches in the final third that Beth Mead's had, she's been marshalled exceptionally well by the likes of Sissoko.
Well, Chelsea set for the title, and if they secure that, they're going for the double next weekend. They're up against Manchester City in the FA Cup final next Sunday from 10 to 2 on the BBC.
Yep, Wembley will be blue one way or the other. I'm sure both sets of fans, certainly, Chelsea will be, should the results stand as they are today, celebrating, buoyant off of the success of retaining the WSL title. But Manchester City, the form that they're in, they've steamrolled every team in their wake on the run in to the end of the season. Exciting game.
Towards Walker, but good defending from Williamson. Oh, but then nicked off her toes, and perhaps a bit relieved to hear the whistle go from Emily Heaslip.
Please don't do that this summer, Leah, in the Euros. I mean, it's great. You got a confident centre half, Lee Williamson, England captain. Not around the 8-yard area, thank you.
2,500 here this afternoon, a very healthy Arsenal following as well. For a minute or two throughout the afternoon, they may have thought it was going to happen, but Chelsea have taken charge of their game against Manchester United, and the victory Arsenal are heading for here doesn't look like it's going to be enough. Miedemar, good carry. And still Miedemar. McCabe. Going to be an Arsenal change here. Nikita Paris is coming on.
Substitution for Arsenal.
And Beth Mead departs inches away from scoring a cracking goal. Nikita Paris, who got her first WSL goal against Aston Villa last weekend, is on for the closing stages. Has scored a few against West Ham whilst in Manchester City colours in the past.
It's good seeing her step up and take the penalty as well to get off the mark, or to get a goal. Been hard to come by for Arsenal. Nikita Paris just trying to make a mark for a stake a claim for the England squad for this summer's European Championships.
And also Mel Phillips, the 19-year-old, on for West Ham. 15 of her 19 appearances this season have been from the bench. Miedemar, tidied up by Yallop. Jonas Eidevall said this week that it's great news that he's been given that contract extension through till the end of the 23 to 24 campaign. Gives him the chance to continue to work for a club that he loves so much and be around people he really, really likes and achieve things together. While Josh Kroenke said that he's had a fantastic start to his career in England. Just going to fall short in terms of the title race this term. Aiming to finish with a flourish here, and Paris almost on the end of Miedemar's cutback.
What a beautiful bit of skill from Viv Miedemar down the left-hand side. Her balance is unbelievable. You sometimes associate really good balance with players with low sense of gravity. You know, she's a tall figure, looks quite rangy, but she's so quick and agile, and beautiful run down the left. Should have ended in a goal for Arsenal.
Paris. Miedemar with the wonderful work here, which nearly put it on the plate for Paris. It's going to be a triple change for West Ham late on here. Kate Longhurst getting a warm hug. Sissoko goes off. She's had a few close shaves this afternoon. And Gerard, Hussein and Joel, the three who are on for the final 5 minutes or so. Well, 5 minutes left to play, so Rachel, time for you to tell us who your Barclays player of the match is.
Well, Catley got the goal, but Miedemar has been unbelievable. The way she's linked up, a little trickery just a few moments ago. She has been the gem for Arsenal. So she gets the Barclays player of the match. hopefully hear from her at the end. See what happens to her next season.
Blackstenius, too high for her. Upfield from Mackenzie Arnold. So Arsenal's wait for a title goes on. They last lifted the trophy in 2019, and barring something miraculous at Kingsmeadow, they're not going to be able to overtake Chelsea this afternoon, with Emma Hayes' side holding a 4-2 lead against Manchester United. Zagawa. Worth a go.
Yeah, lovely little bit of footwork. Gets herself a yard. This stage of the game, why not? Japanese players that we've had in our league and we've played against them internationally are just very, very good technically. You can see she's trying to boss that midfield, be the playmaker.
Fisk there, ahead of McCabe. Here's Little. Zinsberger. Little. Miedemar. On for Little. Leon. Worked on nicely for Svitkova.
Good break from West Ham. Svitkova's made a difference when she's come on in the second half. West Ham fans will be hoping she'll be here next season too.
Well, it's going to be a losing end to the campaign, it seems, for West Ham, but they have won 12 more points than they did across the whole of last season. There's still a sense that they might have just underachieved a bit, though. Should perhaps be knocking on the door to challenge for the Champions League, if not actually qualifying for it.
I agree with you, that is their intention, but I think it's been proven that that's easier said than done. You've got three teams who are going to finish in the top three this season, who've long been established as the best three teams in this country. And yeah, a big budget, good training facility is a great start. International players and the ability to bring over international players and place them and house them and obviously pay them is fantastic. But that still takes time to gel and to build and to breed that winning mentality.
The sands of time are running out for Arsenal. Final minute here, final minute at Kingsmeadow. Chelsea are heading for the title. Well, this could be the final farewell to the greatest scorer in WSL history. Vivianne Miedemar's contract expires this summer. She may well be off to pastures new, and it's a sign of her impact in this league that all in attendance here are applauding as she heads off.
She's been a wonderful presence, ever present for Arsenal over the years that she's been here. Came, I think it was from Wolfsburg, from the German league, and made an immediate impact. Such a young player, has plied her trade in different countries. What she's meant and done for her national team, put them on the world stage. And of course, Serena Wiegmann, who led the Netherlands to European Championship winning team, gold medal, to the silver medal at the World Cup final. He's now in charge of England, and what high hopes we have for that team this summer under the leadership of Sarina Wiegman.
Friedemann is the replacement for Miedema. Sinsberger out together. Arsenal looking for a 4th consecutive win away from home in the WSL without conceding. What do you read into Miedema's disposition as she goes off, Rachel? Is that it?
Standard Miedema, that. That's as excited and as
fair point.
Yeah, elaborate as you get as a emotional goodbye. Should it be that?
Ice cold in her disposition as well as her finishing. Well, I guess the only satisfaction Arsenal can take from this afternoon is that they did their bit. They're going to get the win. They might get another goal. It's Paris who's through. Nikita Paris, surely. Oh, wonderful work from Flaherty to deny Arsenal a 3rd in stoppage time.
A beautiful ball, lovely timed run from Nikita Paris. Definitely onside, gets between the 2 centre halves, and Nikita Paris, keeper does well to stall her, just didn't get a big enough touch, so I had to take 2-3 touches to her left, which allowed Gilly Flaherty to get back and cover that line. Now, that's a wily centre half there, plenty of WSL years under her belt. Does well to save her team.
Final 30 seconds of the season then. He delivers. West Ham defend. Another corner.
Yeah, another Steph Catley corner.
Up close and personal with Catley there, those West Ham fans. Arsenal have done their bit. They have the 3 points here, but it's not going to be enough. Blackstenius and Catley with the goals. It took them a while, but Arsenal in the end showed their quality, Rachel.
Yeah, a really poised and disciplined performance from West Ham made it difficult for Arsenal. They've done their bit, as you said. They've proven they had the quality and the edge today. Across the distance of the season, Chelsea are deserved winners, and this is the ultimate revenge for Emma Hayes for that opening game defeat at the Emirates.
Thanks very much, Rachel. So, full-time here. Is it the full-time whistle for Viv Miedema's Arsenal career as well? We will have to wait and see. But the full-time result, West Ham United 0, Arsenal 2.
Thank you very much, Mark and Rachel. Yeah, the twists and turns of the first half and into the second. In the end, though, it was never going to be Arsenal's control today. They were always going to have to rely on favours from Manchester United. And, of course, in the end, that didn't happen. Manchester United, at the moment, it's a few minutes to go at Kingsmeadow, are 4-2 down. It looks like the title, unless there's a miracle, unless there's a couple of last-minute goals from Manchester United, the title will be going to Emma Hayes' Chelsea for the 3rd season in a row. But Arsenal did everything here that they had to do, getting the goals in that second half, making sure that if the twists and turns meant that a win would be enough, well, they secured that victory, Farah.
Yeah, definitely. You can see in their performance in the second half, there was definitely some words said at half-time, and they come out more relaxed in the second half. They got their goal quite early. and they took advantage of that and controlled the rest of the game. Look, they did their job today, and they give themselves the best possible chance to really push this Chelsea team. But as you mentioned before, it was out of their hands today, and they got the result. And look, it's so tight, that league, and that's what we want to see in the WSL. And
yeah, that is things as they stand. The full-time whistle has not gone at Kings Meadow. There's just less than a couple of minutes to go there, but as things stand, the title is Chelsea's. Arsenal a point behind, which is how they started the day, Laura. We said it was going to be an enormous ask of Manchester United, but they gave us a lot of drama, didn't they, throughout the afternoon?
Yeah, they certainly did, especially, I'm sure everyone at home, everyone in the ground here was checking their phone. Everyone had about 3 or 4 phones out. What are the permutations? Constantly working it out, and it was draining. So, huge credit to all the players. I think Jonas will be saying he's super proud of his team, as will Ollie Harder. Ollie Harder, credit to West Ham, they did not make it easy for Arsenal today. They were very robust, very organised, and made it really, really difficult.
Yeah, it was about 62 minutes or so, wasn't it, when that second Sam Kerr goal went in, and you just felt this whole place kind of, the shoulders dropped. There was a bit of deflation because it felt like that the miracle wasn't going to happen. The team's in a huddle now because this is, of course, as well as for Arsenal being the day that they weren't able to catch Chelsea and win the title. It's the final day of the season for both teams, a long season, a successful season in many ways for Jonas Eidel in terms of his imprint, what he's come to Arsenal to do, but he will be disappointed to go away from it without a trophy.
Yeah, I think so. The way that Arsenal started the season, and everybody started speaking about Arsenal and, can they win a trophy? With the way that they were performing and Jonas coming in and making changes. But I think, look, you can see there's been change within the squad, and I think you can see the change in mentality, but he has to be disappointed not taking a trophy home this year.
Yeah, players there, of course, some will move on at the end of this season. Much speculation about Vivian Miedema, whether or not her future lies perhaps in Spain, perhaps at Barcelona. Certainly there was no indication the way she came off. It wasn't overly emotional, was it, Laura? She wasn't kind of shaking the hands of every member of staff as you sometimes see a player do.
Yeah, I think Rachel Brown finished summed it up. That's her demeanour. That's how she carries herself. She lights up the pitch but is very cool off it. And I just think, look, from a fan of the WSL, I think that, fingers crossed she stays.
Well, let's tell you that indeed the final whistle has gone. It is full time at Kings Meadow, and that means that Chelsea have won the WSL. And these are the scenes there, the players celebrating another league win, the third in a row. Sam Kerr there with 2 spectacular goals. You'll see those shortly, which really sealed the deal for them. The Football Writers Association Player of the Year, the Golden Boot winner. She's been sublime this season, Farah.
Honestly, she's been phenomenal. Look, everybody talks about the price tag that comes with it, but she's exceptional. The goals that she's scored and the importance that she has for this Chelsea team has just shone through this season. Golden Boot winner for the second season on the bounce, and literally dragged their team back into this game today against Man United. And if it wasn't for her goals and probably her second half performance, the result don't happen here at Kings Meadow.
Emma Hayes hugging every single player, Laura, and giving them huge congratulations. They've had to withstand a bit of pressure coming in the latter stages. They started the season with a defeat as well, uncharacteristically, and Emma Hayes, if we know anything about her, she hates losing.
Yeah, yeah, she certainly does, and so do most of those players in the dressing room as well. But if you look at their journey throughout this whole season, the amount that they've had to bounce back from, going out in the group stage in the Champions League, the Continental Cup final, so you can see it hasn't been plain sailing. I think this one will mean a little bit more because there's so much competition, so much riding on every game.
I've spoken to her as well through the season, and she's talked about how difficult actually she's found managing players in COVID has been, and obviously there were disruptions this season as well, and she, that part of her job is challenging. Obviously it's challenging for any manager, and that's the times I think she's found even more challenging than ever, managing players' personal expectations, managing the personality. She's got players who hadn't seen families for a long time abroad, and that this season was particularly hard for her.
Yeah, most definitely. I think that, if you ask Emma, I think she draws on all of her experiences. Her 10 years that she's had at Chelsea, she will tell you she started slow there and didn't understand players as well as she does now. And I think she would have drawn, as I mentioned, on those experiences and really helped drag these players through that. Because, look, it's been difficult, not just for footballers, but everybody in society with what went on with COVID. So it's been a difficult couple of years. But she certainly played a key part in helping these Chelsea players get through those moments.
Great scenes there at Kings Meadow because there were nervous times there in the first half as well. They went into the break 2-1 down to Manchester United, and then they came back out, obviously, with Emma Hayes having read them the riot act at half-time and got themselves back on the score sheet, and it was Sam Kerr who did that. And I think we've probably got time to show you now her absolutely tremendous volley, the first of her goals, Farah.
Yeah, look, truly unbelievable. Emma Hayes, I mean, I'd love to have been a fly on the wall in the dressing room to see what she said, to get the reaction that she did from her players. But we can see here, this goal from Sam Kerr, I think it's the first from outside the box. Just the way she reacts, balls up in the air, a left foot volley from outside the box to bring her team back into the game. Unbelievable. I mean, fantastic strike for me.
Potential goal of the season on the final day of the season, Laura.
Definitely. And that's her non-preferred foot. The way she strikes it, and the power that she gets, and I just think she leads this team. And there's Wrighton's goal again. She's been huge this second half of the season.
Well, while we were enjoying that, arguably the player of the pitch
second
here, certainly this afternoon. Oh, we're seeing another one.
Sam Kerr's second to finish a game off. Unbelievable finish. Look, the way she just takes that, recognises the keeper off the line and puts it into an empty net is fantastic. And as I mentioned, she's pulled her team through this today.
Well, they are the scenes at Kings Meadow. Bringing you right back here, though, to Victoria Road. Vivianne Miedemar has joined us in the studio. I mean, it's commiserations, it's congratulations. Commiserations, obviously, that things didn't pan out at Kings Meadow for Arsenal. Congratulations on being the player of the match. And obviously, the mood, I guess, is kind of mixed, isn't it? You know, you did what you had to do here, but you can't control what's gone on there. What was said in the huddle?
I mean, not that much, to be honest. I think all we could do today was win, and we done that. And congratulations to Chelsea. They've been amazing again this season, and yeah, we just came out short today.
But you had to push them, you know, and that last run that you've had through this season and not conceded a goal now for 6 games, that run has pushed Chelsea to have to perform brilliantly every week.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's great for the league. I think I said that last week as well. Looking back, we obviously gave it away against Birmingham, which is a shame. But yeah, it's good for the league, and I hope that the club can give them a run again next year.
Tell us a little bit about what Jonas Eidevall has done this season with this squad of players, and how you finished the season differently to how you started it.
I think we were off to a flyer, to be fair. I think we struggled in November, December, maybe January. Obviously, him coming in have changed a couple of things. We had girls coming back from the Olympics, and yeah, as you said, the last couple of games we were just back in that rhythm, and we had the results. But yeah, I mean, we're not really getting anything for it right now.
No trophies to lift this season. And what about you personally? So much speculation about your future and whether it will be with Arsenal next season. What can you tell us right now?
Not really anything, to be honest. I was focused on today, focused on finishing the season well, and yeah, from now on I've got a couple of weeks holiday, and I hope I can make a decision then.
And what does that decision for you look like in terms of, you know, whether you leave Arsenal or whether you're going to stay here and commit yourself? Has Jonas Eidevall extending his contract affected any of your thinking?
No, not really. I mean, I'm obviously, I'm speaking with Jonas, I'm speaking with the club. I really want to win titles, and I mean, obviously this year we haven't won anything, so I think that's just a decision that I need to make. And if I feel like the club is moving into the right direction, then maybe 1 or 2 more years, but at this moment I've got no idea.
Okay, thank you for coming to talk to us today, and enjoy your downtime before another business.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So Vivianne Miedemar, the highlight, I guess, so many of her brilliant skill on show today. You know, she's been an absolute star, hasn't she, this season? Ended up 6 goals behind Sam Kerr, but always a player that Arsenal look to change a game.
Most definitely, and her performance, another player of the match performance again today. And look, the reason why she hasn't got as many goals, Arsenal have had to bring her into a deeper role, and she's now become the supplier of the goals. She's assisting goals and still trying to get goals for this team. But you heard there in her interview, she's a winner and she wants to win titles. And for that reason, unless Arsenal can strengthen and really bring in some big players, I'm not sure she'll stay at this club for another couple of seasons.
Well, we'll obviously be asking Jonas Eidevall about that, what he knows about next season in terms of who he can bring in. I think will be crucial, won't it, to that decision? And you understand it as well from a player with enormous ambition.
Yeah, definitely. I think, you know, she lights up this WSL, and I think that you can see on her disappointment, you know, walking. She's been so close, but again, like what we spoke about, when you've retired, you look back and those moments could make the difference, and you want something to show for it. And she's a fantastic player, world-class player, and she deserves to have something to show for it. So I'm sure that it's on a lot of things. It's not just about recruitment, it's about a lot of things, how they're going to move forward.
Yeah, and she never really shows too much emotion, win, lose or draw, does she? She's a very kind of zen-like player in many ways, never gets too excited, never gets too upset. But there will be emotion attached to Arsenal. She's enjoyed her time here. She's probably also enjoyed the lifestyle and living in London. And that, you know, all those things come into play, don't they? It's taking what stage of your career you take another step forwards.
Yeah, and we forget how young she is. What is she, 24, 25? So
it feels like she's been around for ages.
It does. And she simply is world class. I can't say that enough. But, it's a joy to watch her. I asked Farah earlier, where would you play her? And Farah's response was, I'd play her anywhere
Just
she
on
wants.
The pitch. She's phenomenal, isn't she?
But she's that important to Arsenal. If you were Arsenal Football Club, you would be literally throwing anything and everything.
Doing anything to keep
I think she's showing a little bit of emotion here. I think you can see this is, okay, she's smiling here, but I think she looks sad. I think she knows where, her time is probably done.
Farah, you think she's off?
I do, because I think she's a winner, and I think she wants to go and win trophies, Champions League, league titles.
Well, that was the one thing she said then, wasn't it?
No
trophies, and that for her is disappointing. And I guess as well, she's, as you say, she's a young player. She's played in World Cup finals. She wants to win the Champions League, and in her heart, can she see herself doing that with Arsenal? Maybe they're the questions she's wrestling with at the moment, Vivianne Miedema. Let's just bring you up to speed. We will be going to Kings Meadow shortly to see the trophy lifted by Chelsea, but let's have a look at the rest of the results in the Women's Super League this afternoon. And Birmingham City going out with a win. They are down, they're out of the WSL, but they take a win away with them. And Brighton Hove Albion pulls one back to draw level 1-1 with Everton. Chelsea's 4-2 victory over Manchester United sees them crowned champions. Manchester City on an incredible run. I think 13 wins on the bounce now for them is sealed with a 4-0 win at Reading, and Tottenham Hotspur also finished with a win 1-0 over Leicester. And we got 2 goals in the second half here at Victoria Road to see Arsenal finish their season with a win. And this is the way the table finishes then, with Chelsea champions for the 3rd season in a row, just a point ahead of Jonas Eidevall's Arsenal, and a bit of a gap there to Manchester City, who, though in that form they're in, will be taking that to Wembley next week for the FA Cup final. Birmingham City relegated before today, but finishing with a win. I'm sure, Laura, they will be back, won't they?
Yeah, I think so. I think I hope Darren Carter signs a new contract. I really feel like he's so proud to manage that club, and there's something extra about it. When you have a manager that's a club legend, there's something extra that you can give your players. I think the players play for him, but now it's about the club making decisions to back them, keep them at a level that they can come straight back up, but it is a tough ask to come straight back up.
OK, let's show you the goals for the second half here, and Blackstenius was on the pitch for all of about 15 seconds, Farah, when she got the opportunity to start the goals off for Arsenal.
She certainly made an impact, and you see the ball through here. It was her take, the way she took the ball, just softened the ball off so she was able to execute. It just allowed her to be, well balanced. You see the touch here, beautiful touch, and then just well balanced to pass it into the back of the net.
Yeah, she's perhaps not got as many goals you might have expected through the season. It's taken time to bed in.
Yeah, it has, and I think also the first thing we saw was, is she offside? Because we used to Blackstenius, I think, to take her game to the next level. She leads the line well, but sometimes she can be critical of being offside too many times. But that time was fantastic, and that's what they needed at that time.
Yeah, and it was quite remarkable, really. Literally on the pitch, first touch, goal, just the way you kind of want it. And as a manager, Jonas Eidevall's going, yeah, I knew that. That was a brilliant substitution, and it kind of then it made Arsenal relax, didn't it? Because they'd had chances in the first half, but they were snatching at things, and suddenly things started to flow a little bit more like Arsenal that we've seen over the last couple of months.
Yeah, definitely. Look, her finish was so composed. I think it just composed the rest of the team. It relaxed them, it allowed them to play and obviously push on to get that second goal. So,
which came from Steph Catley.
Yeah, from fullback, and she's done this, throughout the season, joined in from fullback, and she'll be pleased to get this in. I mean, she passed it into the top corner, used the defender as a guide to just take it past her. But you can see here, initially we thought it was a foul, but it didn't, on the replay it doesn't show that, but it's a great finish here. She just passes it into the top corner, uses the defender to just guide it round her.
It's a great selection of technique, isn't it? So many times we've seen players smash the ball, but again, to use that inside of her foot and just to put it top corner is probably the only space on that near post that she could have finished. It was fantastic. We've seen how dangerous she is from free kicks earlier on in the season, but that was a superb finish.
Yeah, and the Arsenal fans celebrating their team's victory here, but obviously knowing at this point in the game that already Chelsea were 4-2 up, and the dream was ebbing away from them, and the shoulders are kind of slumped on the Arsenal bench as well. And here is their manager, Jonas Eidevall, has joined us in the studio. Jonas, good to see you. Congratulations on the win and on the season, but obviously ultimately it was never in your hands today, so that must have been quite a frustrating kind of victory if there ever was one.
Yeah, it feels very empty right now. I'm very proud of the players, how they handled this occasion here today. It's obviously been a tough week for us with a lot of matches, but I think we have been phenomenal. We have showed a really, really good level, and when you take 55 points in the league, I think you also can win the league, and just feel empty that we didn't do it.
And it was going your way at half-time, even though you hadn't scored a goal. Manchester United were doing the business over there at Kings Meadow. How much was that kind of playing into your thinking about the second half? What was going on in the dressing room at that point?
Not a lot. Obviously, you can feel the whole atmosphere here at the stadium. But you feel the tension of it, and I mean, you basically love that, and you could feel it when we scored the first goal, and it was great to see how the players reacted under that pressure, and I'm really proud of that.
Yeah, because it didn't feel in the first half quite like the smooth Arsenal we've seen of late, and there was a certain tension there in the players, and perhaps even you were kind of a little bit more nervous than normal. We were stood right above you, and it felt like that first goal was needed just to kind of calm things down.
Yeah, that might be right. It's, I think it was a lot of friction on the grass today, to be honest. It's like everything went pretty slow, but that was for both teams. But no, of course, it's emotional games. It was nice to get the first goal. I'm not going to lie about that.
It certainly is. And you have time to reflect, I'm sure, in the next few weeks. But your feelings now about this season, your first full season in charge of Arsenal?
It's so hard to summarize at this moment, because one part of me is really, really proud of it, what we achieved, and go on and take 55 points and really challenge for the title. And I mean, we're pretty close being unbeaten for the whole season. And another part just feels empty, that we didn't get to lift the trophy for all that hard work. And I just think the players would have deserved that so much, but that's the thing in life. Sometimes you need to work harder for things, and this is a test for us. So we need to keep on believing, and we need to up our game for next season. It's nothing else we can do.
How close are you to bringing players in? Have you earmarked or kind of got players that you're looking at that you're going to strengthen the squad for next season?
Of course, I think all football clubs are looking for that when it comes to a transfer window. We will have some players going out, some players going in, and the ambition is that we're going to be stronger next season.
We spoke to Vivianne Miedema about her future.
What did she say?
Would it surprise you that she didn't really tell us much at all? She said she doesn't know, and she's got to have conversations with you. She's got to talk to the club. There is speculation, of course, that it's her time to move on, and she's an ambitious player. She's a world-class player. I'm pretty sure you're going to tell me that you're going to do everything you can to keep hold of her.
I think some of the things Viv does today, it's astonishing. It's a stellar performance. It's I really think you see she's on a level when she does things that no one is in the league. But our ambition is the same. We want to keep her. We want to try and do our very best to do it. But
so you'll do everything you can to keep her.
Of course, of course. I think if we wouldn't, we would probably be both blind and deaf to see the performances.
Absolutely. And we saw you this week announcing your contract extension along with Mikel Arteta as well, which I think is an unprecedented move actually for a club to align the men's and women's coaches, showing once again that Arsenal are so forward-thinking and kind of at the vanguard of the women's game in terms of their attitude.
The club is absolutely great. It's you feel the support all the way from the supporters to the staff, but also to the whole management and the board. They've been with us all the time, and which is, I mean, so reassuring when you work with that. Is of course we wanted to have success here short term, but we're also very committed to achieving things long term. So that we didn't win the trophy today, it doesn't change anything for our ambitions for next season. It's that remains constant, and I think that it's so important in a volatile world like football is, that you keep your target on the long-term goals still.
Yeah, Jonas, we've seen you excited on the touchline. We've seen you looking frustrated on the touchline. We've seen you laughing, almost close to tears. You're a brilliantly expressive manager, and we've really enjoyed that this season and seeing you. Have you enjoyed this last season?
Yeah, I've enjoyed
and the whole experience with WSL.
Of course I've done. I love being here in England and so on. I always wish that I was a little bit less emotional for it, but it's
don't change.
It is tough because at some part it's like it's your life there on the sidelines, and you want to live it, and you want to feel that the players feel that too. That this is the important thing. But yeah,
I don't think you can change really, can you? Your personality is what it is, and I think it's great to see.
When I'm here outside the pitch, I think I'm a much calmer person. I think that sometimes I hope what the players and other people that work with me can see, that I'm not only this maniac on the touchline, that I actually have another side to myself as well.
Listen, have a good downtime, have a good rest, and maybe we'll see you on our coverage of the Euros. Maybe come and join us in the studio during the Euros at some point.
Would be lovely.
Okay, we'll make it happen.
Gabby can make anything happen.
Not sure about that. Jonas, thank you so much, and
Thank
congratulations.
you.
I know it feels right now a little bit deflating to not lift a trophy, but well done this season.
All right.
Thank
you
you.
too.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Almost didn't want to bring these pictures in while Jonas was there, but these are the scenes at Kingsmeadow. I didn't want to rub salt into the wound, Farah and Nora, but they are the scenes at Kingsmeadow, and it was almost a trip up for Emma Hayes. She's had very few of those this season, hasn't she? With the Continental Cup already in their hands, they now add the Women's Super League title, a third in a row. Chelsea with a cup final, an FA Cup final next week at Wembley to come. It could be another treble.
Yeah, I mean, it could be. Look, fantastic. And you've seen the fans there in the initial shot, and those Chelsea fans for these players, home and away, have stood out above any other team within our league. They've been fantastic. You know, they've shown fantastic support. You've heard Emma and the players speak about how important they are in moments when it's been difficult for Chelsea. And then you just see Emma there, nearly getting tackled, but manages to stay on her feet and celebrate. It's fantastic scenes there at Kingsmeadow.
There's nothing more special than winning the league on the last day of the season at home in front of your home fans. It's just like tick, 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 tick.
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll have a very interesting night ahead.
Katie Longhurst just had a little crawl through the studio there. She could have gone round the back, but it's absolutely fine. It's one of those days, isn't it? The final day of the season, anything goes.
Yeah.
Anything goes. Okay, we're going to head back over to Kingsmeadow because it is time for Chelsea to lift the trophy, and Robin Cowan is watching on for us.
Well, Chelsea, the triumphant squad, receiving their winners' medals. They're introduced onto the Kingsmeadow pitch one by one. Emma Hayes will be keen to emphasise that the whole squad have played their parts. Millie Bright, who has started every single game this season. 38, one more to go next weekend at the FA Cup final. And they make it a domestic double against Manchester City. They were made to work this afternoon against Manchester United. Jess Carter, understandably, a little bit more subdued after working so hard. Taking her time, receiving the congratulations of the Chelsea coaching staff. A real breakthrough season for her. Consistent performer at the heart of that Chelsea defence. Maren Mielder, club stalwart, but just 4 sub-appearances in the WSL this season, but certainly would have played her part as a strong voice off the pitch. Charles, second season and the second WSL title for the former Liverpool player. They are really soaking this up, the Chelsea players. Jonna Andersson, who is leaving at the end of her contract this season, but is leaving with another winner's medal. One of 3 players who played their final game at home for Chelsea. Alsu Abdelina, January signing. I'm sure we'll see a lot more of her next season. Russian international. The Wales captain Sophie Ingle is next. 3rd WSL title for her in the Chelsea shirt. biggest cheer so far. Final glimpse at Kings Meadow of one of the greatest players the WSL has ever seen. Ji So-yeon, who will return to her native South Korea at the end of the season. She has been there. She has won every single trophy that Chelsea have been involved with. Incredible performer for Emma Hayes. Gura Wrighton, who scored 7 WSL goals, the 3rd for Chelsea this afternoon, her best return of a season. She's more than played her part. And Jessie Fleming, another standout performer. Olympic gold last summer for the Canadian international. WSL title to go with that this season. Erin Cuthbert, who has so often been the decisive player. When Chelsea have struggled, she has stepped up. Nearly forgets her medal. So desperate to get on that stage. The superstar Pernilla Harder. Club's longest serving player, Drew Spence, been at the club, made her debut in 2009. The 12th trophy for the club for her. I'm sure an emotional moment as she waves goodbye to the Kings Meadow crowd. Beth England. Bit of a stop-start season, but has scored some decisive goals. 7 the last 8 in the run-in in the WSL. A wonderful sight to see Fran Kirby, who has missed the second half of the season with a fatigue problem. I'm sure all our hopes and wishes are that she will be available sooner rather than later. Perhaps for the Euros with England, we'll just have to wait and see. Great to see her being a part of the celebrations. Lauren James, time limited this season, but really exciting player, and hopefully we'll see a little bit more of her next season.
Let's hear it for number 20 and your golden boot winner,
Party's getting started now. Here's Sam Kerr, another golden boot for the Australian, and she's run straight past her medal. Maybe too much juice already for Sam Kerr. Another 2 goals today. She's dragged Chelsea to another title after a difficult afternoon, and here is the captain taking the plaudits. Magdalena Eriksson on and off the pitch, such an influence. It is nearly time. Trophy is handed to the captain, Magdalena Eriksson. And so for the 3rd time in a row and the 5th time in their history, Chelsea are WSL champions.
Well, great scenes there at Kings Meadow, and congratulations Emma Hayes and Chelsea. 3rd in a row, an incredible run they've had in the last few years, and in spite of the best efforts of Arsenal through the last couple of months and here today, they couldn't be stopped. The juggernaut that is blue and yellow, Farrah Williams, and I know it's secretly you're in the blue camp today. Obviously thrilled for Emma Hayes and for Chelsea.
Yeah, definitely. Look, I think they've been impressive throughout the season. Obviously got off to a really slow start against Arsenal, and I think since then they've really, bounced back from that game, and I think the game and the celebrations from that opening game really hurt Emma Hayes, and I think that it hurt the team as well, and I think they've proved that through the season, and they've been, so consistent and, look, deserving winners at the end of this title.
And we've had Beth Mead alongside us, ready to chat to. Unfortunately, we had to put you through that. I'm really sorry about that, Beth. That was a bit cruel of us. Congratulations on today's victory. Commiserations that things didn't go your way with regard to Manchester United getting some kind of result there at Kingsmeadow. How hard was that today? In the first half, it looked like there was a bit of tension and a bit of nerves that were kind of creeping into the performance.
Yeah, I think in the first half we weren't patient. We were rushing things, playing forward too quickly. You could obviously say we were a little bit nervous. Then obviously you go in at half-time, you hear Chelsea are down 2-1, so it gives you a glimmer of hope. And then, I think we played some good football second half, and obviously we got our rewards in the goals, but unfortunately it was out of our control today.
You personally have had a fantastic season in terms of 8 assists, 14 goals. Was there a reaction inside you after that Olympic experience and not making Tokyo that kind of kicked you into a different gear? It looks from the outside like you're in a different gear this season.
Yeah, I mean, I've said a lot throughout the season. I think I've just been, playing more freely. Obviously, it was a big disappointment for me not going away in the summer, and yeah, I've channeled that into my game this season, and I've really enjoyed it. Hopefully that showed. But yeah, it was a frustrating time for me, and I just wanted to, come out this season and show what I'm all about as a player.
And that frustration obviously then goes into an England and a domestic season with new managers at the helm, new relationships. And I guess there's certain points in your career where you really need that refresh. Does it feel a bit like that? You've had different bits of information coming in, different styles of management coming in.
Yeah, I think the change of probably managers at international and club level is probably perfect timing for me after the disappointment. I mean, my style of play suits what Jonas wants from me, and I think that's helped my game this season. And same with Serena. I would like to say I'm a confidence player, and I've been given a lot of confidence from my managers this season, and that's really helped me on the pitch.
So let's turn our attention to what's going to happen this summer as well. You're just saying there you've got about a week off. Lucky you.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we get a week. I mean, we take the time, and obviously then we've got to switch back onto the Euros.
And you'll be back in camp with England and building up towards what could be a remarkable summer for the women's game. We've just seen the WSL with coverage like it's never had before, and then there's going to be wall-to-wall women's football for a month.
Yeah, exciting times. Yeah, I'm super excited. Obviously, if selected and in the squad, then yeah, super excited to get involved, and hopefully we can play really well as an England team. And
I know you're being modest, but I think I put money on that.
I was going to say, do we still have to say those lines?
I just never trust the process sometimes. So until I get that phone call, I'm not saying I'm in the squad.
Have a great holiday, stay fit,
you.
and we'll hopefully see you doing brilliantly in the summer as well. Beth Mead there. We've got more women's football coming your way, of course, next weekend. There's a double for you, the men's on Saturday and then the women's FA Cup final on Sunday.
Before any leagues anywhere in the world came the FA Cup. Chelsea through to another FA Cup final.
Liverpool, their quadruple is still alive.
The FA Cup finals, live on the BBC.
And that has sent Chelsea to Wembley.
City lead, and it's Ellen White.
With Chelsea versus Manchester City in the women's.
The momentous Wembley day.
And Chelsea versus Liverpool in the men's. Starts Saturday from 4 on BBC One and iPlayer.
And what a cracking final that could be, because Manchester City's form has been, well, they've been a juggernaut. If they'd started that kind of form a little bit earlier, they would have been in the picture today. 13 wins on the bounce for them, hardly conceded a goal. And then you've got Chelsea off the back of their result today. It promises to be a very juicy final.
Yeah, it's going to be a fantastic final. Look, Manchester City are in fantastic form. Chelsea are probably drained. They've had to win every game now until for the last 4 or 5 weeks in order to win today and take that title. So I think it's going to be a fantastic game. Man City also have the psychological edge now that they beat Chelsea in the cup final a few months ago. So I think going into this final, they'll have that little bit of an edge.
Are you with Farah on that?
Yeah, I think so. I think also Chelsea were really disappointed on that day, the way they performed. They didn't show up. They allowed Man City to really dominate that second half. So on the back of today and everything, they'll be raring to go. And both teams have goal scorers. This is not going to be 0-0 and this is going to be 3-3, 4-4. They have goal scorers that are in form.
We're going to extra time by the sound of it. So much fun this afternoon, experiencing the drama and the ups and downs and the ebbs and flows of that match with you two. Thank you so much, Laura Bassett and Farrah Williams, for being with us and being with us all season, enjoying this fantastic WSL. Well, we started the day with a point between them, didn't we? With Arsenal just chasing Chelsea, hoping for a small miracle from Kingsmeadow. Manchester United were chasing wins themselves to try and get a Champions League place. In the end, it didn't happen. A win here for Arsenal, but overall it is Chelsea who lift the trophy and are WSL champions once again.
So here we go then.
Absolutely spectacular!
Blackstenius just on and scored.
That may be the one that tips the balance in Chelsea's favour.